Oh, well, everybody know who I want next. I want Terrence Crawford next.
You're going to make that happen?
Huh?
You're going to make that happen?
Oh, definitely. That's the fight that I want. That's the fight everybody else want. Like I said, I'm going to get these straps that I'm going to go over there and take his shit too.
All right. Errol, congratulations. Terrific fight this evening.
Thank you, man. Down. Strap season. Y'all know what time it is, baby. Terrence, I'm coming for that motherfucking belt.
All right.
I'm not catching fades anymore. Gotta keep my hands clean when they come for the board. Keep it smooth like a dawn, making moves in the dark. Cause I learned how to swim in the pool full of sharks. Now they coaches, cause they can't read all his motions. How the kid never switch codes, but he code switch focus. Staring down your team with a frozen, ice cold look that could end the summer solstice. Cause I'm more like the top dog. Keep on running game and the gang will accost y'all. I be calling plays from a plane while I'm off court. But we ain't the same, you a lame, I'm a mob star. Actually, I'm a top dog on a stat sheet. Off court, but I call plays for the athletes. When the cop cars try to catch me, cause I rolled off in a taxi. With my feet up, I'm relaxing. Singing Figaro with no accent. While I pour strings from the streets in. Do it all with a straight face, I'm the kingpin. Top dog, top flow, boss mode, I'm the kingpin. Showstopper, top dog, top five, I'm the kingpin. They know I'm a dog and a beast, man. Yeah, I keep the peace with a peace, man. I ain't got no time for appeasement. Why would I respond to a pawn? I'm the... Hold up.
If I let my dogs off the leash, then you might want to get out of Dodge by the evening. Honestly, think it's not the blood and the beat. If they don't leave anything behind at the evening.
I can see you soft, ever thought about retreating. If you never have, then they'll give you a reason. Better watch your tone, lose your bass when you speaking. Underneath the mask is the wrath of a... When you learn how to smile in their face, then go cutthroat. Then they want to call you a con when the blood cold. I remember starving while y'all had a truckload. Now I'm with the mob with the call and the gusto. I'm a top dog on a stat sheet. Off court, but I call plays for the athletes. When the cop cars try to catch me, cause I rolled off in a taxi. With my feet up, I'm relaxing. Singing Figaro with no accent. While I pour strings from the streets in. Do it all with a straight face, I'm the kingpin. Top dog, top flow, boss mode, I'm the kingpin. Showstopper, top dog, top five, I'm the kingpin.
Be off for a second. What's happening? What's going on, Gabe? Not trying to ignore you. I'm just trying to get all this stuff together. I wish I had more time to prepare. You know what I'm saying? Because I have to do all my editing myself, and I don't have it all set up like I be wanting to, you know. Your boy came in last night tired as hell, but you got to talk about this boxing stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. You know, got a lot going on. Let's see. Let's get some folks. What's going on, Gabe? I see you out there, my brother. You know, so what's going on, Devon? What's happening? Good to see you, man. I hope everything is going great with everybody's life with these goddamn grocery prices going up. It's $30 for a pack of chicken. Jesus Christ. What is going on in these streets? They done cut off the snaps on these folks. They done cut snaps off. Man, it's getting rough out here. Getting rough. It's getting real. They raiding the Walmarts where I'm at, man. You know, they're going in there. They're just taking what the hell they want. They feel entitled to 3 buckets of food. You know, I ain't no Republican or nothing like that, but I'm just like, damn, bro. It's getting like Mad Max times around this motherfucker, man. Like people are out here just raiding the Walmarts, like, where my foods? You know what I'm saying? Like they like somebody owe people something. No, for years and years, you know what I'm saying? People just had to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? You had to get your paycheck and you had to go to the Walmart and, you know, get what you can get. It is nobody complained, but now Oh yeah, now they done cut them snaps off, baby. Everybody got to get out there and get it. It's kind of ugly, boy. Ooh, man, especially if you've been sitting up there for years and years, not really, you know what I'm saying, finding another way. I feel bad for the kids, I tell you that. But man, this is a crucial situation that we got going on. I'm like, I be telling my wife, man, just get the groceries delivered to the car. I don't want her to get hit in the head while I'm out. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Cause somebody trying to, snatch some food, you know what I'm saying? It's like it's getting bad out here, man. It's like I wish Trump turned them snaps back on. Cause it's man, it's nothing worse than some hungry brothers and some hungry sisters out there. And you know them sisters gonna go out there and get it. What's going on, 2 cents? What's happening, man? It's getting ugly out here, man. It's like I don't know what the hell Trump doing. Hmm. The shit. The first time they had nothing but white people running up in the damn White House, trying to over. Now they're gonna have black people running up in the damn White House looking for some food. Man, I'm talking about it's getting ugly out here. They say, yeah, we stay strapped in. Yeah, but they strapped too, 2 cents. They strapped too. You know what I'm saying? It's like I mean, going to the Walmart gonna be like it's gonna be like what's that what the danger games or whatever they call that shit, war games, whatever that movie called, where shit you gotta watch your back when you go to the grocery store. I'm just surprised that they don't have more security because security be sorry as hell at Walmart. You know what I'm saying? They can't ask the motherfucker for a receipt without getting their ass beat. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker be crashing out asking for a damn receipt. It is lame, don't get me wrong, but because you kind of feel like somebody accusing you, something when you ask for the receipt. Like, damn, didn't you just see me come from the damn register? You know what I'm saying? Didn't you just see me come from the register to pay for this? But hey, man, Walmart is one of the biggest, grocery stores that's out there. You know what I'm saying? And people just be, they just be stealing from Walmart. And you know what I'm saying? With all those cameras around, they think nobody see them. You know what I'm saying? They got 8 billion damn cameras at Walmart. Mm. What's going on, Bruce? Gas, boxing, jazz, and more. What's happening, my brother? You know what I'm saying? They got, man. Somebody's gonna see you at Walmart, and they be having like little secret shoppers walking around watching folks and stuff. You see, you be out there. You ever go to Walmart and you see somebody just be, looking around the corner, or just be in your area. You know what I'm saying? They be watching you, man. It's like Walmart is serious about their security, man. I just hate to see, folks stuff. I really do. In these times and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just happy to be employed. If you're employed right now, man, you are a lucky person. Or, what I'm saying, if you're just blessed enough to, have it like that where, you got money. Cause we enter in the holiday seasons and everything. And, it's sad, man, when you on hard times during the holiday seasons, man. Like, you used to, I don't know how many people got family out there. If you still got family, say you want to spend time with your family and have a good time. And I just hate. I think this was orchestrated because they know they cut off the snaps going into the holiday season, and people have traditions. Saying people, saying they got turkey, they got macaroni and cheese in the black community. Saying to have all these trappings of food and family around, and they cut off the snaps at the wrong time. You know what I'm saying? Cut that shit off in January. Ain't nobody doing shit in January. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that before the holiday seasons, which is especially cruel. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just trying to wait for some people to get in here. Bruce, he said Montley is managed by Kathy Duva, and Supremos don't do business with her. Yeah, I heard she was kind of a cold one. You know what I'm saying? She's kind of a hard nosed business lady. But you got to be in this business. You got to be. You know. But getting on to the boxing thing, man, that's just something that's just going on in society as it is, man. It's kind of sad, to see people, what I'm saying, just going through hard times right now as we enter the holiday season. But Everybody been talking about Backroom Motalev, right? Backroom Motalev, right? The dude, he came on the scene. I think he beat Jack Coley or something like that. One of them English fighters, you know what I'm saying? He beat, and then he beat Tim Zoo. And they be coming on soon. I mean, they fast track these guys, you know. And I think they said that Jamel Charlo vacated the belt. You know what I'm saying? They tried to make the article tried to make it seem like Jamel Charlo, the undisputed champion at the time, vacated the IBF for this guy because of this guy. Well, Jamel Charlo, man, he went through a whole 154-pound division of really great fighters, right? You know what I'm saying? I mean, Jamel Charlo, undeniably, what I'm saying, if he was to retire right now, his legacy is intact. He don't have to do another thing because his run for undisputed was just so tough, right? You know what I'm saying? Eric Lubin is good today, even though he lost all his big fights. You could see the skills, right? You know, Castano, Jamel fought Castano. What I'm saying, he fought Banana. You know what I'm saying? I mean, shit. What's that weird dude, Cota? Called Jorge Cota, and he fought some really good guys, man. I mean, his run was not easy, and he had to battle those dudes. You know what I'm saying? He didn't duck not one of them. So when it came down to the two fights with Castano, which were barn burners, you know what I'm saying? He got the Canelo fight, right? Who's going to turn down a fight with Canelo Alvarez? Nobody, right? That's like the heaven gates opening up. And you know what I'm saying, you can't miss your opportunity. You can't miss the light, bro. You got to go into the light, right? So, he took his opportunity. He went up there and he failed, right? So he didn't come back right away. So Murtazaliev was, he was after he beat Tim Zoo, he was awarded the IBF. He was elevated or whatever. And or did he snatch it off Tim Zoo? I forget. But either way, they made him the boogeyman of the division because I think Eric Lubin was supposed to fight him. And the day of the purse bid, Eric said that he was going to fight Virgil Ortiz for the WBC interim championship. So they're trying to build him up as this guy nobody wants to fight. And I just don't believe that. I mean, do he have a tough, he got power, what I'm saying? But I don't see the speed. I don't see the footwork that's really, that's going to really endanger somebody. He got compulsive. He's got power. He's got power. You know what I'm saying? He can really knock out somebody. But what I'm saying, against somebody like a boot, somebody that can move. I don't know. I would like to see him fight Motalev. Because Motalev can move in the ring also. He got some good footwork. Anybody with any footwork, what I'm saying, I like to see Xander, Zaya Xander, go in there and fight Motalev. Anybody with some footwork, just to see, how he operates and how he conduct himself under a mover like that. And then, because Tim Zoo really is not a mover. He don't move his head. He don't move his feet. So he was pretty much the perfect target for Motalev and make him look good, right? So, if he fought somebody, what I'm saying, that was more mobile with lateral movement, I would like to see that before we start calling him the boogeyman. So the IBF has ordered uh, Motalev to either fight one of the top sanctioning guys in the IBF, and they came up with, since Lubin went to fight Virgil Ortiz Jr., they came up with Josh Kelly, who was number 3, right? And so there's a big difference between being the number 1 ranked contender than being the number 3. I think it's like a 65-35 split. You know what I'm saying? If you're a top number 1 ranked contender, it's worse if you're a number 3. It's like 85-15 split, right? If you like a number 3 or lower, right? And Josh Kelly is number 3. So I'm pretty sure Josh Kelly is like, damn, you know what I'm saying? I got to fight this guy, you know what I'm saying, at this money because I'm ranked number 3, or you know what I'm saying? It's like shit. He wants to be the number 1 contender, you know what I'm saying, to get the 65-35 split. I understand that. But if Josh don't take the fight, they're going to demote him out of the top 10, right? And if Motalev don't fight in 6 months under the IBF, they're going to demote him from being. They're going to strip him of the belt. So he's under a lot of pressure to find somebody to fight that the IBF, deems worthy, right, in their ranking system. So, what I'm saying, so they're trying to make Motalev like this backroom Motalev, like he's this big boogeyman of at 154. I just don't. I think any of those guys will fight him. You know what I'm saying? I think any of those guys fight him. It's just other names. It's just names starting to pop up all over the place at 154. And the 154 division is sizzling right now. So guys are trying to pick their spots. You know what I'm saying? Eric Lubin looking at Virgil Ortiz Jr. versus who's the more high profile fight. You know what I'm saying? I think it's Virgil Ortiz over Motalev. Motalev, all he's offering is his belt, but nobody really knows who he is, right? He don't have no cachet right now. His claim to fame is beating Tim Tszyu. And we still didn't know what Tim Tszyu was all about because he was beating old ass fighters. He was beating burnt out fighters, and he was beating them bad, knocking them out. But at the same time, we really wanted to see him against somebody, a top notch person. And you know what I'm saying? And he's just, when he went against Sebastian Fedora, he kind of got exposed, even though that was a hell of a fight, he really got started getting exposed. He took a couple of devastating losses, and he started changing. So he reconstructed his team, and he's trying to make a comeback, which is good for him because I still think he got some mileage to go. Because they pushed him on the fast track too. And the problem with pushing fighters on the fast track is they don't really get to you know they don't really get the work on their craft as they should because you're just pushing them into these fights, and it's like it's hard to see, especially when you're fighting old, Tony Harrison, and you fighting these guys that's a little bit washed up, people who have personal problems, and people who are not like 100% focused on the boxing game, right? You want to get the guys that's hungry, what I'm saying? That's what's going to keep you sharp. And I think that's the problem with Tim Tszyu. He not only is his boxing style a little antiquated, he don't move his head. He depends on his right hand way too much. I didn't understand why, his right hand always connected, what I'm saying, until he fought somebody that was taller and longer, like Sebastian Fedora, who was able to, what I'm saying, beat him up. What I'm saying? Then you had Backroom, who was able to come in there his size. Another dude that was a little bit bigger than him, a little bit longer than him, and with power, and he couldn't handle it. He couldn't make the adjustment. So, it was interesting to see Tim Tszyu get exposed, his defense, because he don't really have any. And you could look good for a while. What I'm saying, boxing guys who you're more powerful than and you could take their punch. But when you get in there with somebody who's got equal abilities, as far as chin, power, what I'm saying, and put that pressure on you, shit, it's totally different, what I'm saying. So, Tim just got a little bit exposed there, and he's gonna try to make a comeback, but I don't know how good it's gonna be. But Motalev, he needs to go through his he's another one that needs to get tested too. So I don't know why they're trying to build him up like he's this boogeyman, but he's been around for a minute though, taking, sidestepping fights and stuff, taking sidestep money and that sort of thing. He says, nothing being cut at the Trump table. You see how fat that fool is. That he is eating good. You know what I'm saying? It's always a McDonald's outing at the White House with him. He says, "Greetings from Southside Houston. No doubt. I'm in Houston right now. Sunnyside, Texas, is up in this camp. No doubt, bro. What's going on, Tim? What's happening, Rick Timms? He says a Canelo fight is a lightweight lot. Ain't it though? Ain't it though? You know what I'm saying? I just wish that Jamel Charlo would have came a lot more prepared. When you get the call, I always thought he was one of these guys that stayed, a gym rat and always, but he's more of a party boy. You know what I'm saying? He likes to party. You know what I'm saying? I don't know because look, I know when he was on the live, he was drinking some kind of mojito, but I think it was not. He said it was non-alcoholic. But the way he be acting though, man, he be acting like he drunk though. I don't know if that's just his. his personal style, with all the weird stream of thought, way he speaks, he's always distracted by something. He's like a fly. He got the attention span of a fly. And, I was like, man, maybe it just worked for him as a champion, just to, say, because, it's hard to get intimidated when you can't focus on, getting hit, what I'm saying? Or you get hit by a good shot. He could take a good shot. And it's like, damn, it's like you took years off, you and your brother. I don't know what's going on with the Charlos. I really don't. But they just faded from the scene, and maybe it was because the PBC, the money at the PBC, they had to kind of restructure a little bit because of the money and because of deals and all of the merging with Prime and what I'm saying. I thought that was going to be a big thing for them, but looked like it's been a little devastating. So people really don't know what's going on at the PBC. How they gonna put out their roster? How they gonna set up their fights? And their fighters are just kind of everywhere. You know, the fighters are everywhere. Rolly is doing good. um, I would never would have thought to see Rolly, get a good fight. And after taking a beating from Pitbull, and then he beats the new Golden Boy to Ryan Garcia. That was so beautiful to see Ryan get his ass whipped. You know what I'm saying? It's like, man, it's just so many weird things happening in boxing because the way guys are moving right now, they're moving in very peculiar ways. You know what I'm saying? It's like we get in fights. Rolly Ramiro, the guy who's, I mean, he hits hard, but his technique, is ugly. You know what I'm saying? What's going on? What's going on, Zacharias? What's going on, bro? He says, it's good to be back, man. It's good to be back. Home for the first day. He said that explains why he don't listen. He can't focus. Good observation, pool. Yeah, he's like a, I don't know. He's I don't know. It's like when you talk, he's like a AD. How you say ADD kid? Them kids who just can't. His attention span is terrible. His brother seems to be a little bit more mellow, and he just seemed like one of them guys that just love drama and stuff. What's going on, Doc Kent? That Joseph Parker fight, man. Man, that's one problem I have over here at Pool County Box. I hate them English fights. I hate the British fighters. I hate them fights, bro. It's just they so mediocre, man. It's just Joseph Parker. This is his time. You know what I'm saying? After he done been all up in the golden era for these times for heavyweights, and he was just getting his ass beat all over the place. Now that it's kind of all the best heavyweights done aged out. Now he wants to come in and like try to take over. No, bro. I never was impressed by Joseph Parker at all. You know what I'm saying? Or none of those guys that ducked Wilder, during the time that he was hot. You know what I'm saying? I really, really, just like, cherry picking that's going on that level. And that's, he says PBC is done. Could be. You know what I'm saying? They might be. You know what I'm saying? But don't never say never because they can always hook up with because they work. I think the PBC is working with the Turk too, so he's working with everybody who wants to make the fights, right? So I don't know how far that money goes, But this Backham dude, what I'm saying, I want to see if he's going to be a problem. He says Roland has gotten exponentially better. Yes, he has gotten better. I won't take nothing away from him. Um, especially, what I'm saying, when he's starting to win fights, what I'm saying, against the likes of Ryan Garcia. Now, I don't think Ryan Garcia is some great fighter, but that definitely looks good on his resume. So he's not going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. I tell you that. It says heavyweight boxing is so yeah. PGH big dog. It really is, man. It really is. I mean, I can't think of one heavyweight fight that I would want to see. And AJ finally comes 7, 8 years later, talk about fighting Tyson Fury, and Tyson Fury ain't trying to get back in the ring. Tyson Fury just said, "Shit, why the hell should I come back?" Only reason he would come back if Deontay Wilder wanted to come back or something. You know what I'm saying? It's like them two are locked in history. You know what I'm saying? Those guys are two sides of the same coin right there, so they kind of locked in. You said PBC always done, you know. Hey man, I don't even know what's going on with the PBC. Al Heyman, he ain't talking. He never says anything. So, we just got to play it by ear and see what the hell, saying they have for Errol Spence Jr. I bet you that Jamel Charlo and Spence are probably gonna get it in. They probably definitely gonna get it in. He says Rolly surely has gotten better. He said, I see he said you would pick him over Pitbull in a rematch. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if Rolly was intimidated or he just couldn't handle that pressure because Pitbull jumped on him like a pit bull in that fight. In that fight, my boy, I mean, Pitbull was all over Rolly ass and stuff. So, that's the way Pitbull like to roll, which is why I'm excited for the Lamont Roach fight. Because them both of those guys, you know what I'm saying, they are dogs, man. I know people don't think much of Roach Jr. They don't really think a lot of him, but that dude is a dog, man. He is a dog. I mean, you saw the trouble he gave Tank, and Tank is a dog too. You know what I'm saying, when he gets in there and do his thing, but for some reason Tank just didn't have it that night, and Lamont Jr. was all over his ass, bro. And if you saw the hearing fight. The hearing fight was so damn good, bro. I didn't even see it initially. I had to go back and watch it. And when I tell you Lamont Roach, man, he got quick hands. He's explosive, and man, he throw combinations, to hurt. He throws with bad intentions. I love that about him. He throws with bad intentions, man. He throws like he a knockout artist, and he don't even have the power like that. You know what I'm saying? But he's a good counterpuncher. You know what I'm saying? So I think this pit bull fight with Lamont Roach, I think it's the perfect fight, man, to blow up boxing. I think this is going to be a dog fight, And you see how pit bull, he's respectful, but he mean business, And I think he's really going to like make this a fight, you know. And I think Roach knows that this is this is his litany test, right? For boxing. You know, is he going to be able to stay, up top with the current fighters, or is he going to go back, what I'm saying, into obscurity? And this fight is going to tell us. This fight is going to tell us where Roach is going to be. Now he says, yeah, he says some nah, Pitbull still run over Rolly. Yeah, you know. Yeah, I think so too. I think Pitbull is just a notch above Rolly. I never thought of Rolly as he's getting, even though he's getting better, and maybe he's just taking the sport more seriously. I don't know, but he's definitely done gotten better. He said, "I believe that would not be the next best fight for Boots is backroom." He says to silence critics, take him off the chessboard and take his straps to give him a bit of leverage to fight Virgil next after backroom. I just the way things are shaping up. Usually, they two guys this good in their prime don't fight this quickly. Um, yeah, I know the fans, the boxing fans is calling for that fight, but this is one of them things where I would understand if each guy wants to fight the champion in their sanctioning body. I think with Boots, what I'm saying, what he's the WBA interim champion, what I'm saying, he would fight Abbas Barrero and get that belt, and then Virgil could fight, what I'm saying, Sebastian Fedora, but that's a dangerous fight. So I could see why Virgil would agree to the fight because, what I'm saying, if he goes up there and well, I mean, what's the loss is, you fighting the champion, but at the same time, the cachet is with Boots. I don't think Sebastian Fedora don't have the same cachet as Jerron Boots Ennis. I think it would be, a bigger win for Jerron Boots Ennis to beat Virgil Ortiz. I mean, to beat Boots. It will be a bigger win for him because Boots is seen as, what I'm saying, that uprising, that upstart, what I'm saying, that special fighter that's going to be the man at 154, like he's going to run through the division. So if Virgil Ortiz can fight him and beat him, that's gonna say a lot. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna say a lot to the other fighters at 154. You know what I'm saying? That he's coming to clean up. And I could see Virgil Ortiz style, you know what I'm saying, with Backroom. It's gonna be a lot like Bokachuk, you know what I'm saying, versus Virgil Ortiz Jr. It's gonna be just one of those one of those rock'em sock'em type of situations where they just going at it, you know. But the crazy thing is, Virgil is you know, he's vulnerable, man. You know, he's tough, but he still gets knocked down in fights and stuff, you know. So I think Beckham got enough power, and if Virgil is right in front of him, he can move a little bit. Virgil got a little bit of defense, you know what I'm saying? But he would have to like really hone in on his boxing skills, you know what I'm saying, to beat a Beckham, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't think he could just go in there and just do like he usually do and try to put the pressure on Backrum to break him down. I think Backrum is going to Uno reverse that shit. You know what I'm saying? And get him going backwards in boxing. You know, that's a big dude. You know, he says I believe. Okay, I think I read that. Best for is backwards. He said, okay, I read that. What's going on, Rick? Rick says, yeah, he said, I have Roach school and Pip. Yeah, me too. I think Roach is just you know, I think he's a notch above, you know, anything like Boots, Rowley, or, you know, say any of those kind of guys. You know, I think you know, I think that Tank win gave him a lot of confidence, the boost that he needed to believe in himself. And I think he's a different fighter, you know, and I think the Pit Bull win is going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem. He go up, he beat Pitbull. I mean, Roach is going to be something to deal with. PGH Big Dog said, I can't wait for Boots to absolutely destroy Ortiz. This is Backroom and Fedora and shut all the haters up. Yeah, because they really, you know, it's like even though these guys are good, but they're all kind of in the same level. I think Boots is like the only one that really kind of showed itself, you know, to be something, you know, a little extra special. And even though he still got to prove that, you know what I'm saying, he just seemed like, you know, you know, he's got that extra sauce, the extra skills, the versatility, you know what I'm saying, the footwork, you know what I'm saying, the flash, the entertainment value. He just seemed like he's gonna be a marquee type name at 154. And you know what I'm saying? It's like the rest of them now, I don't know, Virgil got a little bit too now. You know what I'm saying? I ain't fit to count my boy out, you know what I'm saying? Because he's got an exciting, fun fight style to watch, you know what I'm saying, that constantly coming forward. But it's definitely not gonna work on everybody. What's going on, Dale? What's happening, bro?
Hey, what's going on, Pool?
Oh, nothing much. Nothing much. Just talking some boxing. What's going on with you this morning?
And chilling. I don't know if you saw the news, but Matchroom, they secured the rights for the IBF title fight between Cruz and Raymond Muratalla at 35. So they should be fighting for the
Oh,
IBF belt.
wait a minute. You said Cruz?
Andy
Oh,
Cruz
Andy
and
Cruz.
Raymond Muratalla,
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
for the
yeah, yeah,
IBF.
yeah. Yeah, I talked about that about a week ago. Um, I talked about that about a week ago because Montali, I don't think he really want that fight. You know what I'm saying? Because Andy Cruz is on another level, bro. You know what I'm saying? Andy Cruz is like Lomachenko when he came in. You know, he's just full of you know, that Cuban boxing style, the motherfucker Olympics. You know what I'm saying? The boy is smooth in that ring, and you can almost feel that Andy Cruz is gonna whip that boy. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like it's a foreboding, you know what I'm saying, type of feeling like he's gonna go in there and just, you know, take his belt and just put him on the sideline, you know what I'm saying? And I think Rafali really, I think he knows that. I think he knows he's gonna have to train hard. Now he's a bad boy, don't get me wrong. He's a bad boy, but I don't think he's on Andy Cruz level. Andy Cruz, man, I mean, I'm so impressed by his fighting style, man. It's just I think that's gonna be a hell of a fight. You know what I'm saying? Because this you're talking about two champions, you know, well not two champions, but you know, one a guy in his prime, he don't want to give up his spot, and is coming for it. That's why Keyshawn Davis got the hell on. You know what I'm saying? Because he saw Andy Cruz coming around the corner. You know what I'm saying? And I thought that told me a lot about Keyshawn Davis. You know, when he missed weight for the why people don't want to fight Edwin DeSantos, do they? They really don't. Nobody don't want that smoke, man. It's like anytime they see a tough fight or a tough challenge, you know what I'm saying? These guys today, they will just miss weight, they will just drop belts, they will do anything to get out of these fights, not to get tested. And when I saw that, I was like, man, what Keyshawn is gonna do at 140 if he's running away from 135? You know what
Well,
I'm saying? It's
I think this sets it up beautifully though, because I agree with you. Andy Cruz is gonna beat Raymond Muratalla pretty
oh
easy.
yeah.
But what I think this does is, that Shakur Stevenson Teofimo fight, nothing's been really confirmed. Keyshawn Davis is the WBO mandatory for Teofimo's belt. So if that Shakur Teo fight can't happen, it's sort of a blessing in disguise because Shakur has plenty of options once Andy Cruz grabs that belt. Because you're gonna have Andy Cruz as the IBF. I think Tank is the WBA, and Abdullah Mason and Sam Noakes, they fight for the vacant WBO in a couple weeks. So Shakur's gonna have the pick of the litter at 35, and we could finally see him in, some, I wouldn't say 50-50 fights, but damn near close.
Wouldn't that be that would be so crazy, because Abdullah is still, he's still a little bit ways off from, fighting, well, he going if he be a champion, I guess he wouldn't have any choice but to face
So
a
I
Andy
mean,
Cruz. He wouldn't have nothing. Yeah, he's better raise his IQ real quick because he's still getting dropped in fights. You know what I'm saying? And you getting dropped by you know what I'm saying, journeyman, you know what I'm saying, he still got a lot to learn to me. I think he's a great fighter if if they give him a chance to develop right. Um, you know, because Noakes ain't no joke from what I understand. You
nah,
know,
Noakes is a bad boy. Now he can punch.
that's what I heard and
And he's
stuff.
been, from what I hear, he's been in some of the best sparring camps. So, that's a big step up fight for Abdullah.
Yeah, because if he get dropped by Noakes, he may not get up. Even though he said that he learned a lot. Abdullah Mason said that he learned a lot from getting dropped, what I'm saying, to watch his opponents and, to keep your eye on your opponents and, what I'm saying, not to, stay focused basically. And he said he got better after he, got dropped a couple of times by some Dominican Republican dude, the dude with the shag on the back of his head, what I'm saying, that which was, he just looked like a straight barbarian and came in there and left hooked off on Abdullah Mason, what I'm saying, dropped him a couple of times. And of course, Mason came back in the second round and got rid of him. But at the same time, he's going to have to watch that. He's going to have to like really, because the higher you go up, the better the skill level, right? Of these opponents. And if he's going to be fighting the likes of Andy Cruz, who has nothing but confidence, what I'm saying, he's an Olympian. So he has no doubts about his abilities. He's going to come in there like a true pro with experience, knows he's going to knows how to size up a young fighter like Abdullah Mason, even though he comes from a great boxing family. It's going to be a good clash, man. And then if Shakur comes, you think Shakur come back down from 140?
Oh yeah, if
To
the, if the Teo fight doesn't come through, then I think he's gonna have to come back down and defend that belt because Andy Cruz. Let's just say Andy Cruz gets the IBF belt, right? Andy Cruz is the number one contender in Shakur's WBC ranking belt. So I think at
Yeah,
that point they're gonna push for that Andy Cruz Shakur Stevenson.
yeah. So
hmm Go ahead.
with
What's up,
Shakur,
Judo? What's up,
I
King?
came. What's up, y'all? I came in at the perfect time, bro, because it was crazy. I was thinking about that while I was hitting the link. I was thinking about talking about Shakur, and the conversation went straight to him. But look, bro. I'm about to piss some people off. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it real, bro. Shakur have to come back down to 140 because contrary to what people believe, the truth about Shakur is what they wanted to be true about Devin. Shakur can fight at 140, don't get me wrong, but Shakur can't fight everybody at 140. I'm gonna give y'all an example. Y'all seen the way he looked against De Los Santos, right? Now, me
hmm
personally, I give him the win. Most people tell me, oh, he really lost. I mean, he won. You know, he ran, but he won. You know what I'm saying? But you got to look at people. Think, bro. Imagine if there's Gary Antoine Russell versus just being De Los Santos. Gary Antoine Russell brings the same pressure and the same danger with more skills and more athleticism. I don't even see Shakur being able to run from Gary Antoine Russell to get a win. I don't even think he'll be able to run from him. But with that being said, bro, at 135, when he does go back down, because Teofimo Lopez is not going to fight him. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to fight him at all. When he does go back down, he does have to fight these other dudes, bro. And my thing is, I'm ready to see it because I don't know why people tiptoe around the fact. Everybody talking about Shakur, 3-division champion. Against who, though? Shakur got a terrible resume, bro. Bro, I was arguing with somebody, bro, about Shakur resume, and this is how you know Shakur fans don't even know his best win because they'll tell you, oh, the best person he fought was Jamel Herring. That is not something to brag about. Jamel Herring is ass. He was always ass, and he was old and ass when Shakur fought. Not only was he ass, he was old and ass. His
Probably
best fight actually,
probably Oscar Valdez or something like
and
that.
he asked too, Paul.
Yeah.
Listen, let's go down to this. Oscar Valdez, ass. Jamel Herring, ass. Robinson Conceição, ass. All these people is ass. Then he moved up where they said it's supposed to be his best fight to date was William Zepeda, and he was ass. But you look at William Zepeda resume, you look at William Zepeda resume, everybody he fought is no-name Mexicans. That's bro, he built his name off fighting no-name Mexicans that you cannot identify. No, Shakur has not beat nobody who's beaten anybody. Now, I'm not saying Shakur not good. Don't get me wrong. Shakur can box. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Shakur not good. I'm ready to see Shakur stop fighting these people who subpar because everybody Shakur fought was a C-level fighter. Everybody on his resume is C-level compared to some of these other people, bro. And that's just the facts of the matter.
That's why I said he should go back to. I think he's gonna go back to 35 if the TO fight doesn't happen because you got to understand Keyshawn Davis is the #1 contender in the WBO. So if Shakur don't get that fight, they're gonna likely try to set up TO and Keyshawn. But to your point, if he goes back to 35, he has nothing but champions to face. Because Abdullah versus Sam Noakes is gonna get the WBO. Raymond Muratalla and Andy Cruz, they just got mandated today for IBF clash. Gervonta Davis is the WBA. I mean, he's not going to have anywhere else to go but fight a champion or contender. So
and that's going to get interesting, bro. That's going to get interesting because, listen, I slightly disagree, though. Now, I do understand that Mason is young, bro. We know Mason young, right? But I do believe that Mason, like a Jerron Boots Ennis, bro, these two dudes is the most similar fighters right now to me at two different weight classes. And the reason I say that is because their athleticism, right, their natural talent for fighting, the gifts that they were blessed with as far as time and power and, you know, just the intangibles, right? I think that they are unique fighters in the fact that they stepped on the scene ready for the best. You said I ain't seen it a lot in my lifetime, bro, where the first time you seen them, as when they first stepped on the scene, they were already good enough to challenge the best. And I believe that about Mason, and I believe that about Jerron Ennis. The first time I seen Ennis, I said he can fight anybody in his weight class, even though he's brand new. And he has a chance to win. I feel like that about Mason. If you put Mason in the ring with Tank, Shakur, Devin, anybody, I believe he already has what it takes to win. I'm not saying he will win, but I'm telling you he is ready right now. He is a threat to them right now.
Oh, I think he's a threat, but I don't know if he's ready yet because, you know, he's been fighting, you know, saying guys like, you know, he's been fighting those mediocre guys. Now, he's been stepping up his competition, but just like Keyshawn Davis, you know, he's still untested. You know what I'm saying? He's a great fighter. You know, he got amazing skills, but at the same time, they haven't been tested. It's just like the division is so watered down right now that anybody who steps up can take the crown. You know what I'm saying? Anybody, because, you know, look, he's fighting for a WBO belt already. You know what I'm saying? It's like it ain't nobody there to test that guy. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying.
But I'm just ready. When Shakur come back, I do not want to see Shakur. This is my thing. Now, mind y'all ain't never heard me go in on Shakur for real. You know what I'm saying? I look at a lot of his lackluster competition was because he was at Top Rank, and I'm tired of people acting like fighters on Top Rank don't fight bums the majority of their career because we see it over and over again. So I'm giving Shakur that leeway, saying, you know what, you was with Top Rank. You got Jay Prince pimping you. You don't control who you fight. So you got a lot of stuff working against you, right? But I do feel like at this point, Shakur wants to be seen as a legend. You know, he want to be mentioned in the way Tank was mentioned based off popularity, the way Devin was mentioned based off accolades, right? So now it's time for you to start doing that, bro. Like you down there 30 if you're not 30 yet. You're not a child no more. So I'm not gonna give you leeway when I keep seeing you fighting these C+ fighters. So when you come back to 135, I'm ready to see you fight somebody, bro. Like if Shakur fight another C-level fighter, Shakur fight them dudes when you playing a boxing game like Fight Night, when you starting your career, you fight a generic nigga that don't even have a name and they always bald-headed with no facial hair. That's who Shakur been fighting. Generic fighters that people don't even know about, don't care. Poor, you didn't even remember he fought Cepeda because you know Cepeda ass. You didn't even remember. And this is what Shakur been doing.
And see, you see that, and it's like 10 years done went by this. You know, it's like 10 years has gone by, and it's like these guys haven't had that name. They haven't had that signature fight, and they still had the expectation of being the best. And that's the problem. You get so frustrated, you know what I'm saying? Say, okay, I see the talent. Okay, when you did get Edwin Santos, that was your time. That was your time. These guys are missing their moments. You know what I'm saying? When they get the perfect opponent with power, somebody, you know, that can actually beat them, and they don't perform in the way they supposed to. You know, when you seen the legends, you know what I'm saying, that was at 135, Sugar Shane Mosley, when he was at 35, when you seen Vernon Forrest, when you seen you know what I'm saying, all the great lightweights, Roberto Duran, when they was at lightweight, they separated themselves, right? Because they were deemed these super special fighters, right? These guys are not separating themselves, but they still got the mantle or the expectations on them, right? You know, Devin, he unified 135, right? He fought Lomachenko. He got his signature fight, right? He got a name, right? That everybody was looking for him to beat. And even though it wasn't as convincing as we wanted it to be, it's like I'm saying, these guys are not separating themselves. So you can't look at them like they're a Floyd Mayweather. You can't, not that they have to be, but what I'm saying is they're not making their own legacy, you know what I'm saying, with these wins. And so people are still kind of got a question mark on top of them as they move up, because they're not really winning these fights. See, Devin beat Regis Prograde very good. He beat him in a really convincing way, right? So, but as they're not taking the big names down. You know, Teofimo Lopez, say what you want to say. You know what I'm saying? He beat Taylor, Josh Taylor, um, pretty good, right? So he's cherry picking, but yet he's fighting better names. You know what I'm saying? He's getting his signature fights, picking his spots and everything. And that's what Terrence Crawford did. As long as you pick your spots and you pick a good name, you know what I'm saying, to put on your resume, and then you can kind of solidify what's going on. We don't see that with Tank. We don't see that with Shakur. We don't see that, but they're big names though. And it's just kind of baffling, because you look at their resume and you say, okay, why are they fucking big names? And they're not really, you know what I'm saying, they're not really fighting top guys. You know what I'm saying? It's like they just beating mediocre dudes. And it's just kind of like, damn, it's like you
It's
want
like,
it, you kind of,
my bad.
yeah, you just kind of want them to, you know, fight the top names and get it over with. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, they can be validated and stuff. But they pick up so many fans, King. You know what I'm saying? They got so many fans.
Right.
Right. They got so many fans that's ready to make them the king of this, and making them more special than they really are, and they still untested, right?
And
Keyshawn
that's
has
what.
slid.
Oh.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, let me say this right quick, because I do want to hear what you want to say about Keyshawn. Just let me get this out real quick. But that's what pissed me off, for how you said that you just gave two great examples of people who not tested, but they got the cachet and the accolades as if they already great. I don't like the picking and choosing. So on one hand, how can you give Tank and Shakur all these praises, but you coming down on Boots because he haven't fought the best names yet? He ain't been in the game nowhere near long as Tank as Shakur, and you praise them, but you want to criticize Boots. I don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
I will say this about Shakur Stevenson in big fights. If he gets that Andy Cruz fight, which is it seems like they're gonna probably go after Shakur after they beat Murtazaliev, they unify. That's gonna be a harder fight than if he would have fought Loma back when he wanted to fight Loma. I think Andy Cruz at this point in his career was just a little better than Lomachenko when he was at that point in his career. Because that motherfucker Andy Cruz got some feet now. And now he's
Man,
in the gym with he's training with Boots Henderson in Mountain Philly, right? So he's giving him that Philly
he
style with
always
it.
did. I think he always been there for
Came
a
in
long
with them.
time.
Yeah, he came in with them
Yeah.
when he first turned pro.
So Shakur wants smoke. I think if he can beat Andy Cruz, unifying the belts, I think that's a big win right there.
That's a
I
win.
think
respectable. That's a
I think
that's a
he's
real.
going to win. I think Andy Cruz is going to win for a while because, a big fight with him and Mason, that would be the test for Mason. You know
Yeah, I
what I'm
don't think
saying?
Mason ready for that fight though, Paul.
Me neither. I don't think so either. You know what I'm saying? I don't think Mason ready for that fight. Like Toussaint said, he makes a lot of stupid mistakes and he's still learning on the job. I mean, he has composure. Don't get me wrong. I think he does have a lot of composure, but he's going to have to listen to his corner. And he's going to have to really listen to his corner and not have that hubris, that young man hubris, where he want to just take it from, he think he got his opponent under control, and he go out there and get Falumaloom. And it's like when we see that, we used to even see that with Floyd. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times arguing with his dad and how to fight. You know what I'm saying? And the fight was harder than it had to be. And I to see that with Mason, a lot of these father son type things going on where they get into how differences in how to fight a certain opponent. Um, the thing about Tio and Lopez it's the southpaw. He's not going to have that southpaw angle. You know what I'm saying? To working for him. So I was listening to one of the coaches on here, and he was saying, it was correct. He said he want to see Shakur Stevenson, fight somebody that way he don't have that southpaw angle. And I didn't think about that. I was like, you know what? He got a point. You know what I'm saying? Because until if southpaw fights another southpaw, you know what I'm saying? Because I think Lopez is southpaw, right? Tio is southpaw, right?
Yeah.
And so he's not going to have that southpaw angle to, you know what I'm saying? So he ain't got to worry about the jab and all that shit. No, you got two southpaws going at it. So this is going to be a little bit different for Shakur. And then you got to deal with Tio's power. He's a little awkward. You know what I'm saying? He's athletic. I don't know if Shakur, hopefully he can still move the way he moved at 135 at 140, because if he's any slower, it's going to be really difficult for him, you know what I'm saying, to take, to try to dodge that power of Teofimo Lopez. And I would hate to see Teofimo Lopez, get Shakur Stevenson name on his resume because, he got Falumaloom by Teofimo Lopez power. And, I mean, I can't stand that dude's personality, man. I can't, man. The dude is so corny and lame, but he can fight though. He can
Yeah, I
fight.
don't.
He
And
can't fight. Tio can't fight. Well, I would like to see it, but he can't fight. Shakur can't fight Tio like he fought William Zepeda. He can't fight like
mm-mm,
that.
mm-mm.
Tio's too
No, he can't.
explosive.
He can't. Yeah, he can't fight with his back against the rope. That's beautiful for Tio. You saw how much trouble he had with Lomachenko. The moving and all that stuff, and that's what Shakur does. He moves, and I think it's going to be hard to hit a moving target. But then again, Shakur don't have the power, you know what I'm saying, to keep Tio from coming in. But Tio ain't good at tracking Sandor Martin. When you saw the Sandor Martin fight, he looked terrible in that damn fight. He was questioning himself against Sandor Martin, and all Sandor Martin was just on the back foot and just tagging his ass and shit. Even knocked him down one time in the fight. So Tio got
Yeah.
confidence problem.
I think it was
I think,
twice.
yeah, it could have been.
We
And
got knocked down twice.
I think in a psychological warfare, I think Shakur is the worst person for Tio because he'll make him miss, and he would taunt him, and he would hit him with a couple of shots to piss him off and frustrate him, and throw Tio all off his game, throw him
I'm
all
a,
off his game.
I'm gonna put this into perspective, bro. Tio is not fighting Shakur Stevenson. Tio is doing what he's been doing since I knew who Tio
Clout
was.
chasing.
He always used black fighters' names to promote. This is promotion, bro. He did it with Terrence Crawford. He did it with Boots. This dude is not. Let me tell you, this is what I learned about his psychology. This is how I know I'm right about him never fighting a black fighter. Because people give themselves away when the people let you know what they thinking if you listen behind what they trying to say. Y'all remember when you had the whole debacle where he went viral for the controversy, him saying, yeah, Top Rank, they just want the black, not Top Rank. I forgot who he was talking about. He was saying, yeah, they just want the black fighters. They just want the black fighters. They don't want me. They yada, yada, yada. Bro, he has an issue with black fighters. And I'm getting to it. I'm gonna tell y'all why he'll never fight a black fighter. He also make jokes like, oh yeah, I'm black from the waist down. Black people are really in his mind, like far as what the black fighter represents for him. Because just like Eric Morales said, they know Hispanics understand that we are their worst matchups and we whoop them more often than not. They know this. T.O. know it too. But I'm gonna tell you how I know he would never fight a black fighter. If you look at the fights T.O. fought, like that last one when he was in the ring dancing that night, Ryan Garcia got whooped by Rolly. He wanted to dance around. T.O. wants to be the more athletic guy because every time you see him and he's not the more athletic guy, he gets embarrassed. Jermaine Ortiz embarrassed him. The other guy we was just talking about embarrassed him. T.O. would never step in because you got to understand, these are other Hispanics who move better than him, making him look bad. T.O. will never get in the ring with a high-level athletic black fighter. Never. That's never going to happen.
Well, you see how he ducked Devin Haney. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He always coming up with some damn excuses why he can't fight Devin. And you know, for these guys, the two fighters who don't have power and stuff, he do not want to face them. He do not want to get in the ring with them dudes, man. It's like he avoid them like the plague. You know, it really, really sucks, man. You know, for him to be in a position with a belt, and not you got Antoine Russell right there. You know what I'm saying? Why are they not getting it on? You know, but he's all around everywhere. You know what I'm saying? All up in the videos, all trying to be a star. That shit really pisses me off. You know what I'm saying? I hate looking at him, man, because I know he's on some bullshit. Like you said, I never thought this fight would come. And the more they mention it, the more that it seems like, you know, the fight probably is not going to happen, you know, because, you know, he's always like stalling for some reason to sign the contract. He always stalling, you know, it's like, why he's not talking about the fight, you know, that's because he know he's not going to go through with shit. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
he not gonna fight him, bro. I
I don't
think what he
think
doing
so.
is what he always do. He clout chase the black fighters name because it's something about this society that we live in. I learned something about this generation we live in when it comes to boxing specifically. If you can tie
Mm.
your name to another fighter just by saying, hey, you put it out there in the ether, yeah, I'm gonna fight him or I want to fight him, your fan base and a lot of other people will subconsciously give you that credit as if you actually had that fight, Paul. Real talk, I'm being real with you. Like that actually boosts in the mind, the subconscious minds of your fans and other people. Just because T.O. said that he would fight Crawford, people subconsciously put him on Crawford level. This is what's happening. That's the same thing. Y'all watched it with Tank fans for years. For years, you'll ask Tank fans, why you gonna fight this dude? They'll say, well, Tank will knock him out. And they'll move on with that as if Tank actually knocked that fight out.
No,
They
I
don't
know
have
what
to
you're
see it.
saying. I know what
They
you're
don't have to
saying.
see it. We just have to talk about it, and we have to imagine that Tank can do it, and that now it's reality. And that's what Teofimo Lopez has been doing his whole career with black fighters. All you have to do is put it into the ether that I can beat this black fighter, and people give him credit like he actually did it.
Well, I mean, we saw him take a total ass whipping from Cambosa. So, I mean, I don't know who the hell you got to be a delusional TO fan to believe that shit after you done seen that ass whipping he took from Cambosos. You know, that's just delusional. You know what I'm saying? Because that boy got all kind of confidence problems. You know,
Right.
I mean, after I saw that Cambosos fight and I saw the Sandor Martin fight, I said, no, he ain't it. He ain't it. So I got to see him do something a little bit more. And then Josh Taylor just went down after he became undisputed. He never got back to the same fighting level that he was at. You know what I'm saying, when he got the belt. I was just like, that surprised me. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's why I be thinking these guys be on some shit, man, because you know what I'm saying, they go down so fast. You know, he didn't even look like the
But
same caliber fighter. You know what I'm saying? After he won the belt, it's like, what the hell happened to all your skills, bro? You know, it's
well, I
like they
think with the Europe,
look at Garcia. Look at Garcia. You know what I'm saying? They don't even look like the same fighters, man. You know they be on some bullshit. They be on something. So I would love to see. I would love. Oh man, go ahead, take it. Y'all got a call. Go ahead.
Now I was about to say the reason with Josh Taylor. I mean, I saw that coming a long time ago. Like this ain't. I'm not trying to be racist, bro. I'm being a realist right now. The European fighters, they prime don't last long. Like out of all the different races of fighters, bro, they prime. Think about it, bro. Most Europeans you see, white people in general, right? The fighters, bro, they prime be what 4, 5 years. And they be on a decline after that. You know what I'm saying? You don't see that longevity where they reigning for 10 plus years. You know what I'm saying? You see that from black fighters, and even some Hispanic fighters may give you 8 to 9 years of dominance. You know what I'm saying? But bro, from what I've seen with the white fighters, bro, they be good for about 5 years. They be great for about 5 years. And about the time they hit like 27, that's they decline.
Yeah, and what you call? We were talking about Josh Taylor. He had them wars with Catterall too. So I think by the
Yeah.
time he fought Tio, there was a little bit of punch drunk damage done. But I thought it was impressive because I remember at that time, based off of Tio's previous performances, a lot of people thought Taylor was going to give him some work, and I think Tio shocked a lot of people. And I thought he did really well with Lomachenko for majority of that fight. He boxed Lomachenko. See, the thing is, people don't understand, and I agree with y'all about his antics, but his fighting style. He came up in the gym with those guys like Shakur and Devin, Ryan. He was a part of that. And to me, his pro was a little bit more impressive than those other guys because he got the ability to get the champions early with Top Rank. So I think Tio's a little more seasoned than what people think. The problem with him is his focus. If he's focused, you can't tell me that Shakur's not going to have some problems with him in the ring. Because, I mean, Tio can box when he's focused now. I saw him do it
Yeah.
against one of the best boxers in Lomachenko for majority of
But
that fight.
yeah, but
So
respectfully though, bro, like I'm, and it's not you, because like this year I've been saying this for years. When I hear that, I don't go for that. Tio is great when he focused, bro, because my whole thing is Tio is the only fighter in the world that I ever heard get that kind of leeway. Now this is my argument. If we can say that Tio only lose when he not focused, you can say that about every fighter that's ever lost a fight. Because think about it, bro. You've seen almost every fighter look good sometimes. When they lose, why don't everybody get that same leeway? When he was focused, he would have won. I think that's true for every fighter in the world. Every fighter in the world can say, you know what? I don't think I was focused that night. I got whooped. So if they can't use that excuse, I'm not giving it to Tio.
we're only saying that because we've seen it with Tio. Every big fight he's had, he's won and not dominated, but he was very impressive. In every big fight he's
What?
taken, every big championship fight, it's the lower caliber fights that he can't get up for. He underperforms, like you said, Sandor Martin and the other guy. So I
Well,
mean,
I
we've
think that
seen
actually
it.
Yeah, me personally, I think his losses came down to people that move better than him or people that move as good as him. The fights I seen him win is when he can move circles around his opponent. When the moment you put a T on the ring with somebody that can move as good as him, then that's when he struggles.
Could be true.
Outside of the Lomachenko, now a lot of people, they say that Lomachenko is the type of fighter that download and he starts slow. Now, when I only watched that fight one time, I didn't like it. It wasn't a great fight for me, but I can't remember Loma looking way better towards the end, right? So I lean to believe that what the other analysts say, that Loma started slow and then he started to come on towards the end. And if Loma would have started early, he probably would have won the fight. I can see that as a plausible analysis of that fight. But when it comes to Josh Taylor, bro, Josh Taylor, like I say, bro, he was a shell of himself when he fought T.O. But like again, when you put T.O. in the ring with somebody close to his age, as athletic as he is, he don't just put on a bad performance. He looks bad. Jermaine Ortiz made him look bad, but that was the worst robber I ever seen in my life when I watched Jermaine Ortiz box circles around Teofimo Lopez and they gave him the win anyway. Same
Yeah,
thing with Sandor Martin. I think Sandor Martin knocked him down twice, but it wasn't just one time. Sandor Martin knocked him down twice. They only counted one of them.
I thought he lost that fight with Jermaine Ortiz. I thought Jermaine Ortiz fought an excellent fight, and they were just all, it was top ranked. So, they all over, they was all on his dick, man, that night. You know what I'm saying? Even though Jermaine was giving him the business, man, it was just like it was a very close fight. But I thought Ortiz pulled it out, and they just kept saying that everybody was saying like Tio was doing this thing. I was like, no. I said, no. He's not separating himself like that, bro. I think Ortiz got this, and they gave it to Lopez, and I mean he's just been getting these really good decisions. But some fighters, some champions, they fight up to the competition. I saw Holyfield do the same thing. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? He would
that's
fight.
all I meant by that. He fights
Crawford
to his
like that. Crawford
competition.
like that too. Crawford like that.
Hmm.
I found that out about Crawford. Much stuff as I
Hmm.
talked about Crawford, I found out about Crawford is that he is going to fight to the level of the competition. If you put Crawford in the ring with a bum, Crawford going to look like a bum sometimes in that fight. If you put him in the ring with somebody good, he going to look good the whole time. So that's true that some people fight to the level of their competition. But my whole issue is, and I'm going to always have a gripe with this, so we just going to have to agree to disagree. I do not buy this whole thing where certain fighters, when they lose or look bad, it's because they weren't focused when every other fighter don't get the same type of leeway. Because they say that with Adrian Broner too. Well, if he was focused, he can do this. If that's the case, every fighter lose when they're not focused. Because I can guarantee you, every fight, when the fighter lose that night, every fight, if you talk to them and set them down honestly, man to man, you can give them a lie detector test. The nights that they get whooped, they will all agree that, you know what, I didn't feel as focused as I do when I'm winning. It's all about your perception of it. So from the outside looking in to say this one fighter, hey, if he focused, you better look out. Then that should be true for everybody. That should be true for everybody.
I mean, you got a good point, you know what I'm saying? But, it's not an official thing, you know what I'm saying? It's just about how you feel about it, or, your perception of it. And some fighters, like they can't get up for the lower guys. Tio seem to be he seem to want big names. When it comes to the big names, that's when he can train his ass off. But if it's just a what you call it, a fighter that he don't really think he's going to get a lot of clout off of, then he can't tend to get himself up for it. So I mean, like George Kambosos. I mean, of course he was weight drained at the time, because he was at the weight for too long, and George Kambosos kind of prolonged him, kept him down at 135, which was brilliant, and got the best of him. You know what I'm saying? So these things happen. I think that's the same thing that happened to Spence. You know what I'm saying? Because Spence wanted to fight Crawford at 154, and Crawford wasn't going to let him off the hook. You know what I'm saying? Because like Two Cents say, these guys be at these weights too long. They be sucking down too long, and that effect, that weight drain is serious, man. These guys can't. They be near death, man, trying to stay at these little weights when really they should be fighting up at 160. You know what I'm saying? 168, shit like that, because that's what they walk around. That's they walk around weights. They've been sucking down for years, and their bodies are depleted. So, over time, when you hit them 30s, I'm saying it makes a difference in your reaction time. You just really start to go into decline, I'm saying, as you get older, right? You saw Roy Jones Jr. start slowing down at 34, right? 33. These are usually the times that these athletic fighters, they start losing a little bit. And saying it's like, so they got to move up when they supposed to. You seen Virgil Ortiz, down at 147, passing out, saying stuff like that. Until now he's looking good at 154. They saying Boots needs to move up to like 160 or maybe 168. They're saying he's too motherfucking big for the division that he's at right now. So they don't have a long time to stay at these divisions. You know what I'm saying? They got to get their wins, they got to get the fights, and they got to get the hell on. Look at Devin Haney. Devin Haney was too big for 135. He damn near killed himself to fight Lomachenko and almost lost because he was depleted. You know what I'm saying? And then they wanted him to come back again, stay at 135. He was gonna get his ass beat down there. You know what I'm saying? Because he was just too big for that division, right? So
Right.
Keyshawn, he hasn't done anything at 135, and he's moving up. You know what I'm saying? And the competition is just start now getting good. All the names that he need right now is at 135. I know he's not gonna fight Stevenson. I understand that. But the Andy Cruz, somebody he fought in the Olympics, that would make his name right there. That would make him a household name for boxing fans, right? Maybe not the casuals, but people who've seen them fight in the Olympics. That is his signature fight. Why are you running away from your signature fight that will put you down? He fight that one fight, King,
Oh,
Dev. He
yeah,
fight that one fight, and his name is in the halls of boxing history. Because your
yeah. I don't
name
think.
sometimes you get tagged. You come into, you get this history. You know what I'm saying, from the Olympics, bro. He already got a storyline. He already got a storyline. All he need to do is fight that guy, man. He gonna be well on his way to being a boxing legend, but he running away from it. You know what I'm saying? Calling himself the businessman. You know what I'm saying? That tells you everything you need to know about Keyshawn right there. You
Well,
know.
shit, he did some
Right.
bad business in his last bout. Some bad business
Yeah,
decisions he made in his last
Oh
year.
yeah,
yeah. Well, the
yeah. You
thing
can
is,
get it.
that's.
You can take the
I
boy
don't
out
think
the hood, but you
Keyshawn.
can't take the hood out the boy.
Right. I don't think Keyshawn. This the thing about it, bro. I'm not big on Keyshawn Davis, bro. Like everybody when they, because we black fighters, they come in waves. He came in that wave with Abdullah Mason. You can put Cruz in that wave. You know what I mean? That was the new dudes, but we knew they was good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'd never been big on Keyshawn, bro. Like Keyshawn got a lot of, talent. He remind me of Crawford a lot. You can tell they got the same trainer. I like his, he looked like Crawford a lot up in the ring, but he not Terrence Crawford, right? But the thing about Keyshawn that I always noticed about him is that, bro, Keyshawn don't, and what I noticed about the best fighters in the world, like throughout my life, the best fighters always have an extreme skill that jumps off the page at you. You know what I'm saying? With Tank
yeah. I know what
Davis,
you mean.
it's his
Yeah.
power. It's his power.
Mm.
With Devin, you can say his reflexes and that good jab where that if he wanted to, he can go all night without getting touched. Same thing with Shakur, right? That jump off the page to you. Terrence Crawford, it's his counterpunching. You know what I'm saying? Everybody have something that jump off the page. Keyshawn do not have an extreme gift or talent that jumps off the page. And that's how I knew he wasn't one of the ones, bro. And I still don't believe that. And that's why you see him anytime Andy Cruz name come up, he like, I don't want that. Bro, when they asked Andy Cruz about him, Andy Cruz now knows that Keyshawn can't beat him. When he first came to the States, this man can barely speak English, and they asked him about Keyshawn Davis. And the first thing he said, he don't even know a lot of English, but he said this with perfect English. He said, my son. That is my son. He knows that Keyshawn can't beat him. Keyshawn knows he can't beat Andy Cruz. He don't want no
Hmm.
part of Andy Cruz because he knows he cannot beat him. And for a lot of people that's going to hear me saying this, oh, you hating on Keyshawn. Keyshawn is great. Keyshawn is good. I'm not denying that Keyshawn is good, but I watch enough boxing to know that Keyshawn is not great. And Keyshawn know he's not great either.
And I feel it because anytime he gets mentioned in any interview, he don't want to hear it. He don't even want to talk about Cruz. He don't want to talk about fighting Cruz. He don't want to talk about meeting Cruz. He don't want to talk about nothing about Cruz. I'm just like, bro, what is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? That's your opportunity to be great right there.
I
But
will
these
say this
guys,
though. I think he started in a report. I do think Keyshawn. It's an experience thing with these fighters. Him, Abdullah. The thing with Keyshawn, man, he's very sharp in that ring. I will say that he's very
yeah,
sharp.
against the level of opponents though he's fighting though, like a Yidgets and guys you never heard of. You know what I'm saying? He needs to get in there with a name, what I'm saying, so he can have a signature fight. I mean, even if he fought Zapata, what I'm saying, just to see how he do. I believe he would beat Zapata. You know what I'm saying? Fighter. I know he's not at 140, but shit, shit, fight Tank. God damn it.
Oh yeah, he
You
is
know,
that 140 pool. Remember, he moved up.
When,
mm,
can, let me say
sure
this, Paul.
did.
Let me
Sure
ask the
did.
brother Dale something. You say he's sharp, right? And I'm gonna tell you why I have a slight pushback for that. Because when I think about the word sharp, I don't think about sharp just on one level in boxing. Because in boxing is mostly offense and defense, right? To me, before I call somebody sharp, you have
Sorry,
to be
y'all.
sharp on both ends. So the sharpness I see from Keyshawn is that when there's an opening, he can land the punch. He's quick enough to land the punch. He can anticipate. He's athletic. He has the skill to make people pay for making mistakes, right? But I also see on the other hand where people make him pay for the same mistakes also. So I can't say he's sharp if he getting it just as good as he giving it.
Well,
What
well,
what
well. When
fight are you
he
referring
when he
to?
dodged when he dodged Edwin Santos, Edwin Santos. When he dodged him, that told me a lot. That told me a lot. Missing weight, what I'm saying, to get out the fight, that told me a lot. That told me everything I need to know about Keyshawn
Right.
Davis. He don't have it, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because if he had that killer mentality, like when he, he'd be bucking his eyes and trying to intimidate people and shit. I said, you know what, this dude is fake. He's fake, bro. You know what I'm
Yeah, he
saying?
didn't want it
He's
with Frank
not.
Martin. When Frank Martin addressed
He
him
did
man to
that.
man,
He did that to Abdullah, right? He was trying to intimidate Abdullah Mason at some press conference and bucking
it
his
was the same
eyes
one,
and shit.
Poor. Yeah, it was the same one. So this what he did. This is why I lost respect for Keyshawn. Most, and that's why I lost all respect from Keyshawn. It was at the because you talking about the same thing I'm talking about. This what Keyshawn did that made me not respect him, bro. Because I always read the actions of people and I read behind the lines, bro. Most people only look at the surface. Keyshawn said in front of the whole world when he chose to fight De Los Santos. The first thing I said, I gave him credit. I said, bro, I'm surprised he taking this fight. I respect it. When then I saw him on the stage. He addressed Abdullah Mason personally at the press conference in front of the whole world. Yeah, when I'm done with this fight, I'm gonna fight you next. Right, Pool? Y'all stand with me? He told Abdullah Mason this, we can get it on next because he heard the rumblings of everybody saying that Abdullah can beat him. So, like a man, which at the time I thought he was being a man, said, you know what, if that's what they think, I can fight. We can meet up after this fight. So, boom.
Mm-hmm.
You come to find out, you fast forward, he not only does he miss weight, this let me know that you only wanted to fight De Los Santos because you plan to come in there with an unfair advantage over De Los Santos. You wanted to be bigger than him. So because you didn't call the fight off, you plan to step in that ring and be bigger than De Los Santos because you wanted an unfair advantage because you didn't believe you can beat De Los Santos on the even playing field. Not only that, you looked in front of the world and lied and told us that you would fight Mason next, making me think that you was really with that, but you knew yourself that you wasn't going to make weight for that fight. You knew you were not going to be at 135 for your next fight, so you lied twice. You lied because you made us think that you believed you can beat De Los Santos, and you lied because you told the whole world that you would fight Mason when you knew you had no plans on staying at 135.
Yeah, it's this bluffing. With Keyshawn, it's all bluff, and he kind of reminds me of a black Teofimo Lopez. Just all this bluster, and he's not willing to get into the fights. And for some reason, this generation don't understand that you got to get into the best fights. You got to bust into that top tier and show what you got. You got to prove yourself on the top stage, and they don't want to do it. They want they want to be celebrities. They want to be clout chasing. They want to be all up in the damn interviews. But when it's time to box somebody good, they missing weight. When it's time to box somebody good, negotiations fail. You know what I'm saying? They going other places. They jumping on fighters and um, beating up, getting suspended and all kind of dumbass shit. It's like this is at the beginning of this guy's career. He should be doing everything by the book. He should be doing everything ABC. You know what I'm saying? And you're not a star yet, but yet he acting like he's a star just because he beat up a few pedestrian journeyman, right? And it's like I can't stand it, bro. You can already see he reminds me like he's gonna be a Keith Thurman if he grab a belt, and he's gonna be like a Keith Thurman holding up the damn division, trying to cherry pick, trying to be strategic and get a fight that he could win. You know what I'm saying? I'm not with that, man. It's like, bro, get out of here, get out the way. Get out the way. We don't need no frauds. You know what I'm saying? In boxing, we got enough of them. People who just want the money. Hopefully he don't get a damn big fight. You know what I'm saying? If he get into a good signature fight like with the Santos and he's just gonna avoid the shit, man, it's like, and you're gonna avoid Andy Cruz. We already see your mentality, right? We already see what you're gonna do when you come up against a rival, bro. You're gonna go the other way. And that's what sucks about this boxing era. These guys are not willing to get in there to try to prove that they could beat the other guy. They just want the money. They shooting for the biggest money for the least resistance, right? That's what they want. And it's kind of sucks. And it takes so long for these guys to make these damn fights. They won't sign on the dotted line for shit. So we got to wait for fight announcements to it get canceled at the end. Oh, he's going in another direction. Oh, really? Really? You got all these champions at 140 that you can fight. Choose one, bro. Choose two. You know what I'm saying? Go down the damn line. It's like, but they waiting for this big money from the Turk. They say they want this astronomical numbers and everything so they can chill out for 2 years or a year. You know what I'm saying? When they get some big money, you know what I'm saying? They don't have to look at boxing for a while. This generation of fighters is just disappointing. You know, I was just looking at some old fights the other day. I was looking at Oscar and Shane Mosley. I was looking at how they were going at it. They didn't care about all that kind of stuff, bro. You know what I'm saying? They just went for what they know. The next guy was the big guy. I got to fight him. You know what I'm saying? If it was a new contender, let's get him. Now I'm not saying that some of these guys didn't want to, they didn't, want to fight certain dudes, but when it came down to it, so they fought the names that they had to fight to put their name in the Hall of Fame. I don't see any Hall of Famers coming out of this group today. And Shakur Stevenson, the only fighter that he gave a lot of respect to was Andy Cruz. That he said that he thought was kind of like a thinking type fighter, and type fighter that was very strategic, very tactful. He gave a compliment to Andy Cruz. You know what I'm saying? So that's a fight that I would really like to see. I don't think Mason's in the conversation yet, even though he might win the WBO. But he's gonna be a tentative champion because he hasn't really had the opposition yet to validate, what I'm saying, his skill levels and stuff like that. I think he is ready to take on some challenges, but I think he need a little bit more experience before he stop messing with the Andy Cruzes and the Shakur Stevens, where he can't, where the Shakur Stevensons of the world, right? Even though I think he would fight him with no fear. I just don't think his experience is up there enough. Stevenson, been in the game for about 10 years now? I think Stevenson been around for 10 years?
Yeah, about close to it.
Yeah, so that's a lot of, he done went 12 rounds a lot of times. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Yeah,
I would like
what the guy in the comments just said, a good fight for Keyshawn at 40. I want to see him running with Frank. I think that's a perfect
they
fight.
had words. They had,
hmm The
they
build-up's
was like,
already there for that one. And Styles
oh
too. That
man,
makes
I
for a
ain't even think
banger.
about that shit. That's
Yeah,
yes. Them boys don't. They already fronted each other outside. They've been outside in each other's face. You know what I'm
it's a good
saying?
fight. That's a good Styles
Oh
fight too.
Yeah.
man, yes.
Frank gonna give Keyshawn's problem with that jab. I
Oh
could see
man,
that
he with
already.
I
Buddy
thought
McGirt.
Frank had a fight coming up.
Yeah,
He
he
do.
fights
He do.
what's that guy? Barthelemos.
But yeah, about
Bartholomews?
Ranch
Yeah,
Bartholomew.
Rancis, yeah.
Oh, okay. Shit, I
That's
mean,
gonna be a good. That's gonna be a good test for him, man. Because Ranch
Yeah.
can pop.
He could punch, he could
He
punch. He got
gave.
them
I was
hooks.
yeah,
2022,
I
and
want to see it.
he gave Gary all kind of hell, bro. Yeah, I mean he
I, I,
rocked Gary ass. He
yeah, I want to
37.
see it, bro.
Mm-hmm. He
But
rocked
I just
Gary
think
ass.
with
Mm-hmm.
Keyshawn, no, bro. Keyshawn to me, the closest comparison I got, how I see Keyshawn, bro, is Adrian Broner. Bro, he is Adrian Broner all over again. But I think Adrian Broner
Man,
is more
Adrian can
talented,
fight though,
and
dog.
Yeah, I
Adrian
don't
had
know about
more
that.
heart.
No, bro, Adrian can
Broner to me
fight,
was
bro.
levels above Keyshawn.
He got concussed. He got traumatized when he
Yeah.
got beat by Madonna. He was different fight after that.
Yeah, that hurt him.
Before that,
That hurt him, bro.
Yeah, before
you know
that
what I'm saying?
he was a beast.
He was that dude.
Yeah,
He just moved up too fast. What was his name? For ferocious, Fernando, ferocious Fernando Vargas, right? He moved up way too fast. He fought nothing but top legends back to back, and he fought Tito. He fought everybody. Oscar. He just moved up too fast, man. And they wasn't checking them gloves, and he got beat down, man. He got destroyed. You know what I'm saying? And it just ruined his career. That's why we got to stop the cheaters, man. We got to stop giving these cheaters. We got to stop giving these cheaters accolades and for beating like Devin, what Devin went through. That could have ruined his entire career, bro. You know what I'm saying? Miguel Cotto, you know what I'm saying? With Margarito. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he got beat so bad in that fight, man. That man got bricks in his gloves and shit. You know what I'm saying? But yet people are praising these guys, when they cheat. You know what I'm saying? No, you got to get the cheaters up. Ryan is still fighting. Conor Ben is still fighting, y'all. And they known cheaters. Canelo is still, still fighting. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah.
these are
People only
known
seem to care
cheaters.
about cheaters. Yeah. People only seem to care about cheaters when they favorite fighter get cheated, or a fighter who in the spotlight get cheated, or some. You know what I'm saying? Somebody in a positive light. Because it seemed like, bro, if you're not that guy and somebody cheat you, nobody cares. You know what I'm saying? If you're not the guy that everybody love, nobody cares if you was on steroids. I guarantee you, if somebody takes steroids and beat Canelo, it's gonna be outrage. If somebody takes steroids and beat Crawford, it's gonna be outrage. If
Well,
somebody takes steroids and beat Alexander Usyk, it's gonna be outrage.
didn't Jaime McGill get caught with some shit that was in his system? I don't know if that was the Canelo fight or the next fight that he fought. I thought he got caught with some stuff in his system. Um, and
Yeah, I think so.
he was giving Canelo the business up in there for a little while. He just, you know what I'm saying? He just made too many damn mistakes, you know. But yeah, people give these cheaters too much, too much credit. 2 Cents says Keyshawn said Frank's scary, so he don't want to fight him. He said that before Santos fight. They said taking credit for another man's win, some more dumb shit these fighters be doing. And that's my thing, man. It's like they like putting narratives out there. You know, that this group here, they put so many narratives out, just to cover their ass. He saw when he looked in Frank Martin's eyes, he knew Frank Martin wanted to fight him. He knew Frank Martin would fight him right then and there. And so you could see a coward when they start backing down, say because it's almost like they overperform. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like they got to be the one that seemed like they dominant. And that kind of what I get from Keyshawn. Like he hate to be exposed, his real heart. And a coward would do anything, you know what I'm saying, so he don't look bad. And I hate to say it, but until he fights somebody that got power, somebody who's athletic, you know what I'm saying, I won't be convinced that Keyshawn is going to be a great fighter or he's going to be good. I don't even think he can mess with Matias. I don't think he can mess with Richardson Hitchens. I don't think he could even fight him. I don't even think he's on that level. You know what I'm saying? Because until he can face down a pro with excellent skills, somebody with high level skills, you know what I'm saying, then I'll be convinced that Keyshawn got some staying power. But for him to go from where he was to go to Tio, it's laughable. It's laughable because he's gonna go up there and get it. When he go up there and get his ass whipped, it's no expectations. You know what I'm saying? Because he don't have a good resume. You know what I'm saying, to be even up there in Tio face, right? And I'm like the last one to give Tio these kind of credits, right? But Keyshawn is, he like 2 Cents said, he's food. He is food for the 140 division. I thought Richardson Hitchens was the weakest link, but now I said Keyshawn, he's probably the weakest link. Now I don't know why his name is so big. It probably is the Crawford camp, being in the Crawford camp, getting the limelight over there, being up under Shakur Stevenson, that's his acolyte, you know what I'm saying? So he's getting a lot of publicity from being there, and then he's an Olympian. So, but he's not acting like he's got that kind of pedigree. He's not acting like he got an Olympian pedigree. You know what I'm saying? So he's kind of disappointing to me. Um, I see the skills, but I just don't see the courage. That's it. I don't see the courage. If he had the courage, he'll be big. You know, I mean, I think Abdullah Mason is showing more composure than he is. He says, my biggest problem with Keyshawn, he wants to be everyone else. He's mentally weak. He has faced his demons, which is holding himself back. Yeah. It's almost like he got that tank complex where he's scared to lose, you know, and he don't have shit. So how the hell can you be afraid to lose and you ain't got nothing? It's just kind of weird like that. But you're afraid people gonna say something about you on social media. This social media fighters, man, they it's a big problem. He said, I agree with that. Said these guys cheating and then getting title shots right after. It's wild. Yeah, but boxing right now is in a weird place. It's like they're congratulating the cherry pickers. He says I have to see what Key Key does at 140. I make my judgment. He's done nothing yet, and that's where everybody's at. Why is everybody at the point where they haven't done shit, and they've been around for 10 years, they've been around for 5 years, 3 years, they still haven't done nothing. They still fighting dudes, you know what I'm saying, that what I'm saying, we never heard of. Anytime you try to match them up with somebody, what I'm saying, something happens. They miss weight. They go in another direction. That's what we're seeing in boxing today. And I mean, even Shakur, I mean, all of them. Tank, we haven't seen him fight nobody we want to see him fight, and it's been years, stacked on years, right? Only Devin is up here fighting, trying to fight. He's got the least power, he's got the least everything, but yet he's out here trying to fight dudes that we think could beat him, right? So that's why this November 22nd fight is going to be the shit, man. Brian Norman Jr. That's going to be no nobody don't even care about the David Benavidez fight, bro, because they think it's a foregone conclusion that David's going to beat the shit out of Anthony Yard. So I don't, David was saying that it's a mistake that Yard don't spar because he said he throws all kind of punches, hard punches. He said he's going to be on Yard ass, and that's what people already, kind of see that David's going to just dominate that. So everybody's kind of looking at the Noakes fight with Abdullah Mason, and everybody's looking at the Devin Haney fight. Bam, what I'm saying? I think Bam on that card too, y'all. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah,
Bam on
Bam
that
on
card.
that card. He the first fight on that card.
Yeah, Bam gonna do his thing. What I'm saying? Bam is definitely gonna do his thing. But the fight of the night is gonna be Devin Haney, Brian Jr., and Abdullah Mason and Noakes.
Man, Poole,
Man,
I saw his dad. He was on somebody's channel,
he was
and he
talking
was
shit,
literally.
wasn't he?
I'm almost reluctant to pick Haney just because of this shit he did. He was on the channel, literally breaking down how his son was gonna beat Haney. I think it was Jamel Herring's channel, and I'm sitting here like, why are you giving out your game plan? Why are you running your mouth? Like, I think Brian Norman Jr. is gonna win that fight, but I'm almost reluctant to pick him because I mean, the dude just running his mouth, man. The art of war. You got to be quiet in big fights like these. Even if you think it's gonna happen, keep that shit to yourself.
Yeah, but think about this. You talk about Devin Dad.
No, no. Brian Norman's dead.
Oh, well, I mean, if you look how he fight, what I'm saying? It ain't too much, he fights the same way. What I'm saying? It ain't too much different shit that he's gonna be able to do to Dev because Dev is gonna be on the move. What's gonna happen is can he track Devin down? Can he cut the ring off on Devin? We haven't seen that. Most of his opponents come to him. What I'm saying? So what's going to be, and I think Roke said this too. He says he's never had to fight like a moving fighter like that. What I'm saying? On the top level is Devin Haney because Devin Haney got some wheels, man. What I'm saying? And from what I've seen, how he's working out and everything, he looked like he's going to be sharp in this fight. And it's going to be interesting to see if Brian can, keep up with that. What I'm saying? Then he's working on that power. So I'm really interested to see if Devin can hurt um, Brian Norman Jr., because I've seen Devin working out. I've seen Brian working out. Man, this is really a good build up for both fighters. But man, I think Devin want this. I think he want it. If he gets knocked out, it's gonna be ugly. It's gonna be ugly, but I think Devin is locked in. I think he's really locked in. I think we're gonna see a different. I think we're gonna see Devin raise his game in this fight. I know a lot of people say what. I know a lot of people looking at me like
Well,
what,
he
but I
has
think
he
that
has no choice but to raise his game. I mean, he's gonna
yeah.
have to be sharp in this
I,
fight.
I don't
It's
think
a dangerous
Brian is.
fight.
I don't think Brian is the the end all be all. You know what I'm saying? Because I think he still got a lot of inexperience. You know what I'm saying? As far as the big fight night type thing, because that's going to be another thing that's going to hinder Brian Norman Jr. is being, fighting under that kind of big lights and having a big fight against a rival like Devin Haney. That's his idol. You know what I'm saying? That well it was his idol, I should say. That was his idol. So,
But you gotta
being on the big
understand, Paul. You gotta understand, he's the champion now. He just got his belt. So
that's what
there's
I'm
a
saying. He
championship
inexperienced.
mindset that yeah, but he's defending his belt against a guy
Hmm.
that's moving up in weight. So I think the Normans are gonna be focused as far as that goes. I don't think
Hmm.
I think he's gonna be fine there. What you said about Devin and his wheels, can Norman keep up with Devin? I think that's gonna be a big question right there. But I think Devin too, if he cleans up some of the mistakes he usually makes in his fights, right? Keeping that guard up on his left side, you know, not jabbing too low. We can clean up some of that shit. He has a good chance of winning that fight. He just got to
Yeah,
be
Well,
careful, man.
well,
another
also,
thing.
also he got to keep Brian Norman from framing him up on the damn ropes and getting them body shots in. You know, because Ryan, you know, once he not Ryan, but Brian, once he put that hand on you, you know, he starts to you know, trying to go on the inside and sets up his uppercut. You know what I'm saying? He got a fast uppercut. You know what I'm saying? And he likes to go for that body and stuff. If he slows Devin down, he could tire Devin out by clinching and getting his little shots in on the clinch and stuff because he knows how to grapple on the inside. He knows he got a good inside game. So Devin can't be doing all that clutching shit with Brian Norman Jr. He gonna get hurt on the inside messing with Brian and stuff. You know, 'cause he got nice short shots and stuff. Go ahead. I'm sorry I cut you off. What's going on, JB? My bad. I see. I'm trying to get my thoughts together. Let JB get in. What's going on, JB?
What's going on, Paul Connor? Salute to everybody
What's
that's on the podcast. It's a lot of variables for this fight. A lot of variables because the style that gave Devin Haney the most issues was the style of Vasily Lomachenko. And
mm-hmm.
Brian Lomachenko don't fight nothing like Lomachenko. But his style is different. It's different. It's a style that Devin haven't never seen before. I think probably the closest style to it was Regis Prograis. Probably the closest style to Brian Norman Jr. But I think Brian Norman Jr. is more athletic. His feet are more really sound, more educated than Prograis. And I think it'll be a different style. You know, the thing about this fight is Devin Haney's punch resistance. Is it the same after what went down with Ryan Garcia? You know, who was PED, you know, who had Octarine in this system, who was fighting him in an unfair advantage, but still did damage to Devin Haney. So what would his punch resistance be like? Moving up in weight, fighting a puncher, a guy that has power in both hands, a guy that not only a good fighter, but he has great timing. So with the speed advantage that Devin Haney has, timing always beats speed. So that's another thing people have sleeping on with Brian Norman Jr. That guy has great timing with his punches. So it's going to be a good fight. It's a true 50-50 fight. The style that Devin Haney presents is a style that Brian Norman ain't seen before. Probably the coach style when he probably fought that. I can't remember that guy's name, but he had a problem with that guy right before he fought Sicilian and won the belt. He fought a
Was
guy
that Quentin Randall?
Quentin Randall. Quentin Randall was a boxer. He had a problem with that, but Devin Haney is much more developed, much more technically superior than Randall. But his styles kind of similar. A boxer, kind of slick, and Brian Norman Jr. had a problem, but Brian Norman Jr. did beat him, but he had a problem with that style. So it's just a very intriguing fight, man. A lot of variables. You know, it's pros and cons to both fighters. If you pick Haney to win the fight, I can see that. If you pick Norman Jr. to win the fight, I can see that because both guys are presenting something that the other guy never seen before in the ring. So it's gonna be a good fight.
Yeah, one thing I noticed about these breakdowns, because I know the other brother was saying, the other brother on the account, I think his name Dev, he got Brian Norman winning. That's cool, because I agree with you when you saying that if I hear somebody saying they think Brian Norman can win, I don't think they're crazy. You know what I'm saying? It is a reality that Brian Norman can win this fight. But and the same thing with people who think Devin gonna win. But what I am noticing is that some people energy getting shaky. Like look at Tim Bradley. When this fight was first announced, it was all about Brian Norman was gonna kill Devin. Devin don't stand no chance. He get knocked out. Devin backed into a corner. You can't run from it now. Now you're gonna get knocked out. Recently as a week ago, his tune has completely changed on his channel. He has flipped his pick. Not only flipped his pick, he is telling people that it's Brian Norman that's actually in trouble because Tim saw what I saw. Brian Norman has a lot of flaws that's gonna pay into Devin Haney's hands, but the main one is the lunging that he's always done. And I don't think there's something that's going to be able to be coached out of him in one training camp. This is a part of his fighting identity, the lunging in, right? But what bothers me most about what Tim is doing, it's not genuine. I don't think that he is flipping his pick and making all these videos about what Brian Norman Jr. have to look out for because he thinks Devin is so great. This is a warning to the Normans. This is Tim being in their camp without being in their camp. He is making videos that he knows is going to go viral. He is basically giving Brian Norman Jr. tips on how not to lose to Devin Haney. Over and over again. If y'all go watch Tim Bradley videos right now, like his last couple of videos about this fight, all his videos is telling Brian Norman Jr. how to avoid losing to Devin Haney, basically telling him this is your
Oh
flaws.
yeah,
This
yeah,
is how
yeah,
this
yeah,
is how the
yeah,
Haneys are going to use it against you. But he doing it. But
yeah.
look, Paul, you know, you got you're content great too. He doing it in a slick way. He doing it like,
Yeah,
oh
no,
yeah, you got to watch out.
I was on that video. I said, listen to this son of a bitch right here.
Yeah, he coaching him. He trying to coach Brian Norman. Basically, because you know,
Right.
Tim Bradley is a Hall of Fame fighter. He trying to tell the Normans what to look out for. He trying to tell them what Bill and them see,
Right.
what Devin gonna see, and how to actually beat Devin. But he trying to do it in a slick way. Oh, you gotta watch out because y'all don't know.
Yeah.
Y'all think Devin this, but Devin gonna see this, and Devin gonna do this. Brian Norman, y'all listening, right? Y'all listening, right? He is coaching them.
Yeah, yeah. I'll start to do a video on that because I was like, look at Bradley trying to set up the Haneys, you know what I'm saying? Trying to block the way and stuff, trying to give away the little secrets and tips. I was like, it's one thing, but one thing about it, it's one thing to know everything a fighter's gonna do, but then there's another thing you got to execute. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard to, if you can't stop it, you can't stop it. It's all about timing. And Brian Norman Jr. got excellent timing. You know what I'm saying? He's definitely a natural when it comes to timing and stuff like that. So, that's why this fight's gonna be so interesting. Because his abilities, man. Brian Norman he's only 24 years old. You know what I'm saying? So the man upside is he got full potential. He's a young champion, like Dev was saying, man. He's not gonna want to lose. You know what I'm saying? He's undefeated. So this is gonna be a hard fight for Dev to break him. You know what I'm saying? If Dev could get in there and just just fucking just outclass him, somebody got the background.
Piggyback, y'all. Somebody got to mute their phone.
Yeah.
Hey,
If Dev could get out there in there and outclass him, man, Devin, he put himself on a whole nother level, bro. You know what I'm saying?
right.
He putting 147 on notice. Mm-hmm.
Right,
Go
right.
ahead.
And Paul, look, what I wanted to say too about that, or what Bradley trying to do, I don't think it's gonna work though. Because, like I say, when I look at what that lunging that Brian Norman do, that's not how I want to see it. That's not a mistake that happens sometimes, or a certain points of the fight draws that flaw out of him. That is something that's ingrained in his DNA. He is a lunger. You know what I'm saying? It's moments throughout the fight. Bro, how did he knock out Jen Sasaki? He lunged in with a left hook. This is something that he does. This is not something that you can coach out of him, especially in no one camp. So I do expect Devin to be able to exploit that. And I'm going to tell you how Devin going to exploit that. He going to exploit that with jabs and head movement. Devin like to work the jab. He gonna first start working that jab on Brian Norman Jr. just to get him accustomed to it and frustrated with it. But after a while, right, Devin gonna do something that a lot of people not gonna think he gonna do, and he do it anyway. But he ain't did it in a while, especially since Ryan Garcia. But Devin do the same thing Floyd do, where they'll give you a fake target, where they'll kind of lean their chin forward a little bit. You know what I'm talking about? When they know they're at a distance that you can't hit them, they'll still lean their chin forward to entice you. You know what I'm saying? That's just to bait a mistake out of you. And when he do that to Brian Norman, that pull counter. But when he do it to Brian Norman Jr., it's not going to bait a false step out of Brian. He is going to make Brian Norman Jr. lunge all night. He is going to bait a lunge out of him, because he was going to happen. Even if Brian Norman don't want to lunge at first, after he eats so many jabs and he's frustrated, Devin is going to bait that clean up out of him, because it's in his DNA to lunge. It's in him.
Oh, I believe it. I believe it. But, can Brian make adjustments in the ring? What's his name? Tay. Tay is a fighter too. He's a content creator. I don't know if you know Tay. He that's his boy.
Yeah.
So
I talked to Tay.
That's Tay. That's Tay boy right there. You know what I'm saying? He just believes that Brian Norman Jr. is gonna go in there and beat the hell out of Devin. You know what I'm saying? He just thinks the world of Brian Norman Jr. I'm like, bro. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. This man is he's unproven, man. I mean, he beat a couple of guys, man. It's like I don't, he looked good doing it. Don't get me wrong, but he just don't look like, I don't see nothing special. I don't see nothing special. You know what I'm saying? It's like
My thing
and
with
look
the
like
Devin thing is the power. That's the only thing we don't like. The power of Devin Haney. Does he get enough power at 47 to keep Brian honest? If he can't keep Brian honest, I just don't see. It's not gonna matter how many jabs he throws or head feints. If he can't keep him honest, he doesn't have a shot to win the fight. So
Mm,
hopefully, with all the power training and strength training he's doing, moving up, hopefully he
hmm
brings some power into that fight. If he ain't got no power, Brian not gonna care what he's gonna do.
Yeah, but power ain't everything. I mean, you got to be educated power. It's got to be, what I'm saying, you got to catch him good. I don't think I don't think Devin's going to be in range. I do think Ryan can knock him out. I think he could clip him. But he's gonna have to be able to track Devin. He's gonna have to cut off that ring. He's gonna have to beat him in them damn corners. He's gonna have to tire him out. He have to go to that body, slow Devin down. That's the only way I could see him like really beating Dev. You know, that's the only because Dev is experienced. People don't give Devin his props for being experienced, bro. Devin have been in big fights. So it's really the power is really not gonna phase. There, you seen how he went out there with Ryan Garcia. He went out there bold and brash. And then another thing is he over that? Is he over that tentative um that phase? What's going on, J Boxing? What's going on, bro? J Boxing IQ. I see you, bro. Is he over that tentativeness, what I'm saying, from when he got beat up by Ryan? Is he gonna be nervous? Is he gonna be second guessing, what I'm saying, his footwork? These are things that's gonna be answered in this fight because we don't know where his head is at, what I'm saying? Is he over that shit, what I'm saying, getting cheated and all that stuff, because sometimes it takes a while, man. These fighters be having PSD, post-traumatic stress syndrome, what I'm saying, from getting these beatings like that. Cotto was able to bounce back, and you know what I'm saying. But it's we got to see, man. We got to see if Dev gonna be able to bounce back, man, and look like his old self. He's at a
I
good
think,
weight. Go
yeah.
ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just about to say, I think this is gonna be a good fight. But now Tim did, when I was listening to Tim go off, he did say something I did agree with. And I think he believed this wholeheartedly too. He said, man, I'm expecting the best Devin. And I believe, let me tell you why I believe this. Listen, because I told you I pay attention to psychology, what people say. The first thing Devin said after he realized he got cheated by Ryan, because I wanted to hear exactly what Devin thought about that night. You know what I'm saying? And him finding out Ryan was actually juicing, right? The first thing Devin said was, "Yeah, man." He said that's the first time I fought somebody, and I just feel like I couldn't do nothing. He was like, I was out. He was too strong. He said he felt way stronger than me. Devin kept saying that over and over again. They let me know that was his real honest thought while he was fighting Ryan, was that this nigga is, he's strong. I can't hurt him. Every time he hit me, he hurt me. I'm not physically stronger than him. My punch is not doing nothing. So I think psychologically, him moving up in weight, you gotta understand, this is gonna be the biggest Devin has ever stepped into a professional fight at. This is gonna be the strongest he ever felt. I think psychologically that's gonna do good because it's gonna counter what you said. For the PTSD from what happened to Ryan is gonna be countered by the fact that he is never gonna feel more strong than he has ever felt in his life than the night he fight Brian Norman Jr.
Well, I see how he's training. So he's training like a beast. He's hitting tires. You know what I'm saying? With hammers, and he's doing some things that I haven't seen in a long time. What I'm saying, he's looking bigger. You know what I'm saying? He's looking stronger. But I
That's
don't
what I
know.
said. The biggest variable is Devin's strength in this fight. His best performance, I agree, was Regis Prograis, but remember, he hurt Regis in that fight. He had Regis honest. Regis didn't want to just jump in there. He has to do the
Right.
same thing with Brian. He's got to make Brian not just want to jump in there. So the power's got to be there for Devin. At least just enough power to hurt Brian. If Brian hits him, if he hits Brian with his best shot and Brian just keeps going forward, that's just an ugly fight. I don't like Devin, and you got to keep him
Well,
honest, fool, and Judah.
Regis was talking cash shit about Devin's power, and look what happened to him. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I mean, he was saying, man, I walked through this and walked through that shit. Devin knocked his ass down, man. I was like,
That's what I'm
see, so
saying.
you never know what the hell, because speed. See, people don't understand speed, timing. Beats power. You know what I'm saying? If Brian timing is off for any reason, or if he don't have the foot speed to keep up with Dev, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a long night for him, man. He might be able to catch him at the end if Devin if he's able to get some. He's got to get to Dev's body. He has to. It's imperative. And Dev can't stay, he can't let Brian Norman Jr. get into the mid range because he's so explosive from there. He can throw that uppercut hook to the body so fast. He like to, do that throwaway jab and then go to the body as he collapses in and clinches. So Devin can't confuse, a clinch, for a body shot, an uppercut to his body because he like to lean in with those uppercuts, and he's fast with it too. He got fast hands, and I could see Devin getting knocked out thinking it's a clinch. You know what I'm saying? Because Brian is very deceptive, man. He's got some tricks, man. He's got a lot of good tricks, and he's young and he's super fast. You know what I'm saying? But his feet ain't like that. His feet ain't like that. Let me see. Your boy, your boy Ryan's supposed to be fighting Marius Barrios, right?
Damn, they giving him a title fight.
They talking about, but they working on it.
They giving him a title fight after he got whooped.
Yeah, they want Brian. They want Ryan to be a star. They really want him. For some reason, somebody wants him to be, a top fighter. They want him to be a star in boxing. So he
Well,
gets
this sets it up perfectly for Devin Haney. If Devin Haney goes in there and beats Brian, and if Ryan beats Barrios, that's a unification fight at 47, and he gets his rematch.
That's gonna sell. That's gonna sell. And I think I heard somebody saying it too. Now, mind you, they using Ryan Paul. You're right. You said somebody want to see, because I did hear somebody say that, but I didn't know what they was talking about. They was like, yeah, they saying that Devin's supposed to be rematching Ryan is gonna be for a belt. And I didn't know where the belt was gonna come from, but now that you're saying it's gonna come from Barrios if Ryan win, that make a lot of sense, bro. But like you said, I'm not gonna lie to you, that's a genius business move. You would have a unification rematch with Devin and Ryan, bro. All eyes gonna be on that fight. All eyes will be on that fight if Devin and Ryan rematch for a unification.
Because you could say what you want. Ryan has, I was listening to Showbiz, who I think is lame as fuck, but he be having some good talking points. He said that boxing fans, he said if because he was talking about Crawford and he was talking about Spence, and he was saying why people don't buy Crawford fights. Now I'm fit to go out on a limb because I was listening to Showbiz. Now Showbiz says, because Crawford, well, basically he was saying Crawford is ugly and that you have to be a good-looking champion, like Ali was saying. Frazier was an ugly champion, and I was listening, and
My bad. I was thinking to myself, that's some gay shit to say, but yeah, go ahead.
I was saying the same shit. I said, I think Showbiz might be on that kind of spectrum or something. But
I said that. Now, after you finish, I'm gonna tell you about who else said some gay stuff you ain't know about. But go ahead.
But it made sense. I was like, well, Crawford, I don't see him as an ugly dude. You know what I'm saying? But for the culture, that's kind of brainwashed into the European, standard of beauty, niggas be liking, lighter skinned guys, and and Ryan, he's what you would consider, that standard, right? He would be the model type, type dude. So he gets opportunity because of his aesthetics, not his boxing skills, you know what I'm saying?
Man, Paul Crawford don't sell because he was doing bad business early in his career.
I know why. I'm just saying. I'm just trying
he
to
would have sold
cooperate
if he was getting in the fight.
I'm just trying to cooperate with what Showbiz was saying. He was saying like, men like good looking fight. I guess because we envision ourselves like when you see a Rambo or you see Arnold Schwarzenegger and Conan the Barbarian. You want it to be that motherfucker. You want it to be that motherfucker with the sword. You seen yourself in long clothing. You know what I'm saying? Being dominant. You know what I'm saying? Or Mike Tyson. Because when Mike Tyson came out, I got my hair cut like the nigga. I wanted to. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't wearing no socks and shit. You know what I'm saying? Walking around. You know what I'm saying? You want to be like Mike. It's just. You know what I'm saying? It's like
you're not trying to get your hair cut like Crawford.
Hell no.
Listen, I can see that, bro. But
that nigga got the bat symbol on his motherfucking hairline. Hell no.
Yeah, I can see that, Paul, but I ain't gonna lie. On the other hand, I can see throughout history, bro, as mean because what he trying to say is they marketing to men who want to see attractive men, and I just don't see that, bro. Whenever you use somebody, you always trying to use them to attract the opposite sex. And I'm gonna give you an example how I know this to be true, because especially with boxing, bro, we never cared about having an ugly boxer as the champion. If he tough and rough and he give us what we want, we don't matter. What most when you grow up, when we talking about like watching certain movies, man, when I know every time I watch the Monsterverse King Kong, bro, I want to be King Kong. I don't care how ugly he is. I like King Kong because he with the business. You know what I'm saying? So I don't see that, bro, that men subconsciously want to see attractive men. Now mind you, now this is a caveat.
I want it to be the three-headed
caveat.
hero. I want to shoot the lightning and shit out the three heads, nigga. I want
this a caveat to what showbiz might be. Now, this is where it might be true. Now, if he's talking about this generation specifically, he might be on to something.
Right.
Gen Z they do like men. They like their purses, they like their tight pants, and they do like men.
They like fashion and shit. They like being pretty boys and all that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Just being pretty. Our generation is more rugged. You know what I'm saying? You know, you see Albus Barrero. That motherfucker look like a straight, hard working, blue collar type champion. Yeah. That nigga need a haircut for real, you nigga. I'll put $5.
He look like he chew tobacco and smoke cigarettes, Paul.
Yes, sir. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about that boy look like he would whip your ass. If that motherfucker come in there with nappy head, nigga, you finna get your ass beat, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Think that's who Boost is fighting next for the belt. I got him and Abos fighting.
That's what I'm saying. I don't see that fight happen. It's too perfect, you know, for him to go straight to Virgil Ortiz.
No, it's going to happen, Paul. They're both the interim champion right now. They got to fight for that number one.
No. But what I'm saying is Virgil versus Boots to happen.
Oh, right? Okay.
I don't. That would Boots. Just be too. That's in a perfect world for everything. I like I was saying earlier. I could see Boots fighting Albus Barrero, and that's going to be a hell of a fight, y'all. Because
that's going to be a good one.
If y'all seen that dude fight Eunice Tellez, that fight was fight of the year. I keep saying that, and if you haven't went to see that fight, go watch that fight, man. That fight was so damn good, bro. They were going back and forth, but I think Boots is so damn athletic, he don't have to stand in there and take it. You know, even though at some point in the fight, you know, Boots, he got that thing where he kind of leans over to the side and go from side to side, you know, going to the body, you know what I'm saying, where he just kind of goes back and give you the uppercut to the body. Man, the uppercut hook, whatever you call that, man, he just bam, man. You know, he's gonna eat up Albus. He's gonna get that belt. That WBA belt is Boots. That's his belt.
What they're gonna do is they're setting up, you know, Virgil wins his fight against Lubin and Fundora wins his fight against Keith. They're gonna match up Virgil and Fundora.
Man,
that's how they're gonna do it.
I don't know who's gonna win at that fight, bro. I don't know. What do you guys think? Come on.
That's a good fight.
That's a good fight
because Fundora to me has the experience. He has the 54 experience. Let me say that.
What?
He has the 54 experience. If Fundora and Virgil lined it up.
Virgil. Mm-hmm.
That's a good fight. That's a 50-50 fight.
That's really, let me tell you why that's a 50-50 fight. That's a toss-up because neither one of them have no defense. Both of them got good power and they both gonna swing all night. It's whoever land the last punch gonna win.
Can Fundora's jab keep Virgil off?
Right.
Well, Fundora's defense is his height.
Hey, when he fight tall though, he hard to beat, bro. I think his last fight against Zoo, he fought tall, and I ain't gonna lie, it was hard for me to see anybody beating Fundora that night.
Well, Fundora, with Zoo, he don't have to because Zoo ain't going nowhere. He gonna stand right in front of you like an idiot. And I think he underestimated Fundora's punching power. You know what I'm saying? Because you know he stood right in front of Fundora, and he was just he couldn't get nowhere near Fundora. You know, he just don't have the explosiveness or the foot speed to really damage. You know, by the time the punch get to Fundora, you know, all the power is going off the damn punch. You know, Fundora arms are long, man. He got heavyweight arms, you know what I'm saying, at the 154 division, man. You can't get nowhere near the guy. You know, you got to be super explosive to get in there just like Mendoza knocked his ass out. He was able to get on the inside and be explosive and pop his ass. You know what I'm saying? So you can beat him. Lubin, you know what I'm saying? You got to box him, man. And be able to get on the inside and be explosive enough to unleash what you got and get the hell on up out of it, roll up on out of there. Long as you stay on the end of Fedora punches, man, you for the lose, bro. You know, if you ain't got no feet, you can't beat Fedora. You know, if you ain't
Yeah,
got no feet, you know. But against Ortiz, man, Ortiz can box, man. He don't like the box. Ortiz don't like the box. He likes to fight, you know, and that's going to be his downfall in that fight. You know, Ortiz like to fight. He like to rumble. You know, that's going to be his problem. He can move his head a little bit too, but he don't like to keep it up. He's so concentrated on knocking guys out, you know, that he gets knocked down. You know, and that was Eric Lubin's problem because you know he was going in there trying to knock people out and he was getting his ass knocked out. You know what I'm saying? Because he was beating. He could have beat Fundora. It's just that he always make the wrong decision at the wrong time. You know, just keep boxing until the guy get wore down. And Fedora, he took a knee. He took a smart knee. He didn't just get right back up after Lubin knocked him down. You know what I'm saying? He took a knee. He took a few seconds. He took his count. I said, that's a smart guy. You
man,
know,
he
that
tore
that that's
Lubin's ass up after that knee. After he got up from that knee, he tore Lubin's
woo.
ass up, man.
Did you see his face, bro? His face was like
Yeah,
dislocated or
that
some
was
shit.
bad.
I was like, Lubin, man, that was a bad, you know, because Lubin had got confidence after he knocked him down, and he thought he was gonna go in there and just take it to him and shit. But that man had a whole lot more. He had a whole lot left.
Hey, hey, y'all ever seen that movie Elephant Man before?
Yeah,
Mm,
That's what
yes.
his face looked like. That's
yeah,
what Lubin's face looked like.
Yeah, I am not
yeah.
an animal. I am a human being. That shit was funny as hell. We used to go to school saying that shit. You know what I'm saying?
But remember when they
Yeah.
announced, I think last year when they had potentially Spence fighting Fundora? Remember that whole situation
Say that again.
when Spence was supposed to fight Fundora? Do y'all remember when
Oh
those
yeah,
talks was happening?
yeah.
I had picked Spence to win that fight because I thought Spence was able he'd be able to get inside and work Fundora on the body, right?
Hmm.
Educated body work. Virgil's gonna have to replicate that type of body work. It has to be educated. He can't just go in there, just taking each liver shot he sees. He's gonna have to be very educated with his body work against Fundora. Similar to how I thought Spence would have broke him down, he's gonna have to, perform like that.
Yeah, but you know, Spence, you know what I'm saying, you know, you're assuming that we're talking about a Spence that's rejuvenated, we're talking about a Spence that
Yeah, I'm
got the
assuming
power.
I'm assuming a good Spence. Yeah, I'm assuming a good
Yeah,
Spence.
because you know, we don't know where Spence at right now. You know, he ain't got no coach. You know what I'm saying? The nigga ain't, you know, he in the Bahamas. He's enjoying life. You know what I'm saying? You know, I seen him training a little bit, but we don't know what he got left, man. You know, I mean, he only took one loss, so you know, but we just don't know what the wreck took out of him. You know, we don't know where he at. And you know, I didn't want to believe it, but about the whole wreck and all that stuff. But shit, I don't know. We just got to see him in the ring and see what he looked like. You know. Um,
Shit, I think he should just go up to 60, man. Like skip 54, go to 60, get a little bit more
yeah,
weight
you
on
know
you.
what I'm saying. You know, yeah, put some weight on you, man, because sucking down for 10 years, man. I mean, it takes a whole lot out of you. You know, it takes a
You
whole
see
lot.
what
You
they're
know, you
doing at 60, right? Unifying with Janabek and Laura. And then probably that
yeah.
Adamas fight's gonna happen this summer, and then they're gonna welcome Crawford for an undisputed bout.
Look at the staying power that Laura got, man. He's like 42 years old. 42, man, and he's still kicking it, man. I'm like, wow, he's still winning. You know, look how he dusted off Danny Garcia. You know, I was like, wow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people don't give, you know, Danny, they don't look at Danny like he's you know what I'm saying, a top fighter and stuff like that. But man, when you moving up in weight like that, you know what I'm saying? Some fighters can do it, some fighters can't, man. And
And
Danny, he's
Danny's
just fit.
fights was close. His biggest fights were really close, man. He didn't just get whooped by anybody.
Right.
Him and Thurman was a close fight. I thought he beat Porter, honestly. I thought he beat Porter. Danny's been in some close fights, man. I just think he kind of peaked out at the end of his 40 run. He wasn't at his best at 47, if you ask me. When he moved up and fought bigger guys, you know what I'm saying? That could sort of take that
Mm-hmm.
hook, that could give him some pushback. Looked a little average, but he did fight competitively against those guys. I never once saw Danny as like a below average fighter. That's why I wanted to see him in Crawford, man, because when Danny still had his speed, you can't tell me that him and Crawford wouldn't have been a good fight back at 40.
Yeah. 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 Hey, JB, who you think wins out of Sebastian and Ortiz?
I think I get a slight edge to Fundora. I think with his height, he got a good 1-2 with the jab and the right hand and stuff like that. I think, like you
Mm-hmm.
said, sometimes he like to fight too much. If he can box, kind of like what he did with Majimov, that was probably his best performance. He fought a disciplined fight against Majimov. Had the jab, he walked him down, he cut the ring off good, and systematically took over the fight in the second half of the fight and won that fight going away. I think if he can fight similar to that against Fundora, he can win. But if he fight like he fought against Voracek, he gonna get stopped. I can stop late against Fundora, man. Fundora is a guy that he don't have that one hit or quarter power, but it's just like an accumulation thing. And he's a guy that throws a lot of punches. Unlike other junior middleweights, he probably leading that division as far as punch output per round. I bet he's probably the best guy at that division. He throws punches like he a lightweight. He overwhelms his opponents with his volume of punches. And it's like accumulation effects. And he just slowly breaks them down, like he did with Louisville. That's like he did with Sue in that second fight. He wears you down with the overall volume. So you got to kind of slow that pace down, and get hit him with something that hurts him and slow down his punch output, and then implement your style. Maybe you can beat him. But if you can't kind of slow his punch output down, he's gonna overwhelm you. He's gonna end up stopping you later, beating you by decision.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what's crazy about that? You know who's second in punch output? It's Virgil Ortiz. He's right behind Fundora. They're the top two in punch output at that division.
That's what makes that a good fight. That's good.
I like how Virgil just gets straight to it, man. I love him, David Benavidez, those Mexican fighters like that. I love how they just come in, bro. They just come in getting straight to the business, bro. I love it. I love it. You know what I'm saying? It's like it ain't no second guessing. They start fighting from the beginning. You know, it's like wow. They start to fight, no fill out process. You know what I'm saying? Just going at it, bro. I love that about Virgil Ortiz. I love that about the Mexican fighters, man. You know, it may not be the best policy, but you know what I'm saying?
So
They be
Poole,
on that kind of.
who do you got in the Jamal Charlo Caleb Plant fight that they finna announce soon?
You said Jamal Charlo.
And
Oh
Caleb Plant,
shit.
yeah. They're gonna announce that
I
soon. Who you
don't
got
know,
in there?
man. I saw Caleb Plant slap the shit out of was that Jamel? I saw that shit, man. I was like, what is going on with the Charlos, man? I was just like,
Okay, what that's gonna be on the Pacquiao undercard? That Charlo Caleb Plant fight is gonna be on the
Nah, I
Pacquiao
think
undercard.
it's gonna have his own card towards the summertime, from what I'm
Oh,
hearing.
okay.
Yeah.
I think Caleb Plant, man. Caleb Plant is kind of chinny, man. He a 6-round fighter, and his punch resistance never been great to me. It just he ain't been in there with the right opponent. I think Benavidez would have stopped him if he wouldn't have did all that holding. Referee would have broke him up a little bit more often. But I think he kind of chinny. Even though he ain't never really been knocked out outside of Canelo, he kind of he don't take punches well. I kind of noticed that throughout his career. He just slick enough to not get hit a lot for it to take a toll on him. But he always has been to me kind of chinny in a way, chinny in a quiet as kept type of way. He kind of chinny. But he getting there with Charlo. Charlo, that last fight, man, even though that guy was a D-level fighter, he knocked him out. I think Charlo got a good 1-2, got a good jab, he got a good right hand. It's just gonna be a matter of time before he catch Caleb Plant with that right hand. I think he stops Caleb Plant. I don't think it'll be early. I think first 6-7 rounds is competitive. But I think in the second half of the fight, Charlo catches up with him and stops him late.
I agree.
but
You know what
Charles got
that sets
power.
up, right? That's gonna set up Charlo and Hamza Shiraz at 68. That's gonna be a banger right there.
You know, I think Jamal Charlo. I mean, when he's on this game, man, he's hard to beat. He's hard to beat. It's just I don't know. It's just something mental about them twins. You know, they can't stay focused. They, you know, it's like they fighting themselves, right? The skills, you can see the skills there. You can see, you know, the toughness, the fortitude, you know, when they're on top of their game. But for some reason, they just a little off when it comes to the focus. You know what I'm saying? They fight up to their competitions at times. It's almost like they're emotional fighters. It's almost like they're emotional or something. I remember one time when Jamil, I think it was one of them lost. Who was that? I forgot what fight that was where his brother lost, and he was so emotional. I think Jamal almost lost his damn fight, worried about his goddamn brother. But anytime
Yeah,
one of them
when
go
when
lose,
um when he lost to Tony Harrison in the first fight, I remember that. He
yeah,
was in the back.
yeah, Tony Harris.
Mhm.
Yeah, and his brother and Jamal almost lost his damn fight, worried about his damn brother. I'm just like, bro, what I'm saying? I don't know. The twins, they're very volatile. What I'm saying? They up and down with the consistency. Now I think Jamil had it going when he did Undisputed. He did a good thing right there. But then after that, it just seemed like their camps, all these camps are just in disarray. They're going back and forth to different trainers, and it's just like there's no stability. There's no stability going on with the Charlos or Texas. Look like the camps done fell apart. Um, I don't know. It's like these boys, they personalize. It look like they're starting to slow down. They becoming older men. So it's kind of like they're not on top of their game right now. So right now this is the perfect time to fight a Charlo. You know what I'm saying? Because they're kind of like cashing out of boxing. They're not looking at it like when they were hungry and trying to be undefeated. You know what I'm saying? They just kind of like semi-retired or something, and they just looking for big fights to kind of go off into the sunset. And that's what I see from them. I don't see them the Lions only brand. You know what I'm saying? Being that name. That you had to fear. You know what I'm saying? Because the brothers were coming. No, no, they just seem like they just trying to get a little cash so they can fall back a little bit and drink a little bit and go to these different venues and stuff as stars in boxing. So that look like they just kind of pass all that. They just want to relax. And that's why I don't trust it, man. I really don't trust it when it comes to Charlos because I just don't see the passion no more. I think they're tired. They talk like they tired of boxing, and they don't really want to take no tough fights. Um, I haven't heard from Jamal in a long time. I haven't heard Jamal do an interview in years. I don't even know where the hell Jamal at. Um, so I just don't know. It's like they don't seem like they really want to fight. I don't understand it. But
Boy,
it's their. Go ahead. Go. What you saying?
but the PBC, they want to make Jamel Charlo versus Earl Smith Jr. That's the fight they want to make. They was in negotiations for that
Oh,
fight
that'd be
since
good.
about a month ago, but I don't think they got anything finalized yet. But that's the fight they want to make. Like you were saying earlier, Earl Smith Jr. got to get a trainer. You got to get that together, and he got to
Mm,
get back in. I seen my in the Bahamas. He's in good shape, but being in good shape and being in fighting shape is two different things. So you got to get in fighting shape. That's the fight PBC want to make. Now, Jamel Charlo could try to pursue a Crawford fight or a Boots fight, but that's going outside of what the PBC is looking to make. But we have to see, usually Charlo, they've been loyal to Al Heyman. They ain't left, Al Heyman. Benavidez kind of left and Wilder left, but Charlo, Thurman, Earl Smith Jr., they seem to be loyal to the PBC as far as working exclusively with the PBC and not venturing out working with other platforms. So we got
mm,
to see how that goes and how that transpires. But that's the fight that the PBC wants to make. I want to make a quick thing about the December 6th card. The November 22nd card that Turkey putting on, it's getting a lot of fanfare, a lot of accolades, but that December 6th card is very comparable. That December 6th card with Roach and Pitbull, that's a loaded card. They got Rose versus Pitbull. They got Janabek versus Laura. They got Fulton versus Oshaki. That card is loaded, man. That card gives that November 22nd card a run for his money. Everybody's blowing that card up, which they should, because that's a great card, led by Haney versus Norman Jr. That's a great card, but that December 6th card can give that November 22nd card a run for his money, put on by the BBC. So I'm looking forward to them two cards, the November 22nd card and the December 6th card in San Antonio. Both of them cards are loaded from top to bottom. I think Frank Martin on that card too against Bartholomew. That card
Yeah,
is
that's a
loaded, man.
loaded card. That's a loaded card.
Yeah, BBC, they giving that turkey run for his money for us, which card is loaded. I probably give the 22nd card a slight edge, but that December 6th card is loaded too. So somebody say they like that card better than the 22nd card, I ain't mad at you. Both cards are loaded. So I'm looking forward to both of them cards.
Man, it's gonna be hot and heated, man. It's like, I mean, this end of the year, man, we getting such a damn treat with these cards, man. I don't know why the Thurman card. Well, you know, Sebastian hurt his hand, but is it just me? Do Thurman have the worst luck? In, I mean, he got worse. He got just as bad of luck as AB. You know what I'm saying? His luck is on the par with AB. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, everything he does just fall apart. He's supposed to break off the premiere with Prime with the PBC. He's supposed to be fighting Jerome Booth Sanders. That didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? He was supposed to be fighting Tim Zoo. That didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? And now he's supposed to be fighting Fedora, and this didn't happen. Something. Do y'all think it's something going on with Keith Thurman? You think they're just using his name to kind of prop up and stall? You know what I'm saying? To keep the fans' interest, and then it, you know what I'm saying, so they can try to buy time to get fights lined up.
Yeah.
Cause
you had people. It was ticket sales. That's why they got postponed. I think he maybe Fedora was having problems making weight. He wasn't on target to make weight, so he probably needed a little bit more time. Maybe they pushed it back. Whatever the case may be, they gonna put that fight on the Manny Pacquiao undercard. It's gonna be the co-main. So hopefully they load that card up like they loaded up the December 6th card. But I just think it's just a combination of maybe ticket sales or maybe Fedora wasn't gonna be able to make the 154-pound limit. The guy's 6'7", so I know he ain't just making weight so easy. He ain't really talking about it. People ain't talking about it. But the man's 6'7", so making 154 pounds is not easy in a 167 frame, even though he's skinny. So I think he probably need a little bit more time. He did have a little hand injury, but all fighters go into fights injured. They ain't nobody 100%, so I don't think that hand injury, quote unquote, they said really was the main reason why he ain't gonna fight, because you got a hand injury, you might be out of home, but you might be out the rest of 2026. So how can you make it back for January 24th to fight on the Pacquiao undercard? If your hand is that serious, you probably need a little bit more time. You know, it might need surgery. So I just think that was just an excuse. I think it's probably much more to that than just this. He hurt his hand as far.
Man, who the hell is Pacquiao headlining against?
Mm-hmm.
It was supposed to be Romero, but Romero was ordered to fight Guyasov. That's one of Eddie Hearn's fighters, matchroom fighters. He's ordered to fight Guyasov. So if he fights Manny Pacquiao, he gonna get stripped. So it depends on how much that belt means to Romero. Romero might want to hold on to that belt. So if he fights Guyasov, that means Pacquiao got to fight somebody else. I'm hearing Ryan Garcia. I'm hearing there's another guy. Even Lomachenko name is getting thrown out there. So Pacquiao, he'll find somebody to fight, but it might not be Rolly. Rolly might defend his belt. If it is against Rolly, it won't be for a belt. And Manny Pacquiao might say, why would I fight Rolly just to be fighting him? The caveat was he had a belt. I wanted to become champion again. He ain't got no belt. I might want to fight a guy that's probably a bigger name, maybe Lomachenko or, somebody like that. That's a bigger name. Or Ryan Garcia, even though Rolly beat him, Ryan still is a bigger attraction. So let me fight him.
Isn't Lomachenko coming back? Lomachenko coming back, isn't it?
I ain't heard nothing about that. They saying like his name got thrown in there with Pacquiao, but he ducked Tank. He could, I ain't gonna say he ducked Tank, but that fight was pretty much a done deal. And he pulled out in the 11th hour saying that he wasn't motivated, and that fight fell through, and Tank ended up fighting Roach. So if he come back and fight Pacquiao, that'd be kind of interesting. It's like, damn, you supposed to be in line to fight Tank, and now you fighting Pacquiao, which Pacquiao probably might be a more wonderful fighter. He's older, he's an older guy, so it's a big money fight for Loma. Maybe he won't want big payday before he ride off into the sunset. So it's just kind of funny how he took out in a Tank fight if he do come back.
Yeah,
I
let
just
me
don't
ask
want to
you.
see Pacquiao, man. I think
Oh
I'm
my
Pacquiao
God,
out, man. Like that
man,
Barrios fight.
you right
I'm
about
just
that, man. Oh, I don't want to see Floyd. I don't see none of these dudes from the past era, fight no more, bro. Go sit your ass down. Go sit your ass down. You know what I'm saying? I do not want to see it. They are we it's hard enough to get these guys to fight, the current active fighters, than to have these old heads coming in here and becoming a target for everybody. Everybody want to flood to these old guys because they think that's an easy name to put on their resume. But they don't understand a lot of deference come with these old fighters. You know what I'm saying? You know, uh, when Marius Barrios fought Pacquiao, he had to fight that whole history. He had to fight the damn the 8 divisions that they gave him. You know what I'm saying? It's like he has to fight all that history, right? And he got to draw out of that shit, man. It's like, come on, bro. It's like nobody want to see that, bro. Nobody want to see that. We need to get these fights that we got going on, man. We need to get these guys to fighting and stuff, so we can figure out where to place these guys. You know what I'm saying? And it's like right now, I don't see any Hall of Fame type of dudes. I don't see them. You know what I'm saying? Somebody who you think would be like a first ballot Hall of Famer right now, going from 135 to, let's say, not let's cut Crawford off, and let's say, ma- well, the only way, I mean, if you cut it off right there, you would have to say David Benavidez maybe probably would start reaching the Hall of Fame level. But anywhere else, maybe Laura, maybe.
Errol Spence Jr. I think Errol Spence Jr. is a Hall of Famer. I don't know if he get in on the first
Yeah,
try,
yeah,
but
yeah, definitely, definitely.
champion,
Oh,
undefeated. He only lost to Crawford. That's his only loss.
Yeah, and I
So I
say
think Errol-
the winner of Bivol and Beterbiev when they run it back for the third time, the
yeah.
winner of
Oh
that
yeah,
fight
them
will
them
be a
two
Hall of
them two
Famer.
definitely going into the Hall of
Yeah,
Fame. But I'm talking about out of these young dudes that's supposed to be the future. These young guys like Shakur, and you're talking about Tank. Is Tank a Hall of Famer? Oh
no,
shit,
Tank
it
um,
ain't
got
no Hall of
silent.
Fame.
It
He
got
just ain't done enough.
silent.
nah,
He
he
a fighter
doesn't
now.
have the
Oh
yeah.
my God, it got silent. Oh, y'all was scared to say
He
something and shit.
just needs a couple more champions on his resume for him to solidify himself.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
he needs to. He needs that
But
fight.
but who
He could have got that. It would have been a
but
7 inch
but
cap if he'd got that.
but can you guys see anybody else? 154, 147. Is Devin a Hall of Famer?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
Devin,
yeah,
he never toward that. He's on track to being a Hall of Famer. That's one thing about
yeah.
Devin. He
if
But
he
don't.
beats Brian
you,
Norman Jr., yeah, for sure.
Oh, he beat
well,
Brian. That'll be the third time in the third weight class. Yeah. Then
Yep,
now you put that type of resume. Yep. He's on
yep.
track. I wouldn't say
first,
he got yet,
first
but he's on
ballot,
track. Tracking that way.
first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah, he's tracking that way. When he done with the man, he like 26 years old. And what he done up to this point, the man resume is good. You can hate on
Yeah,
him, but all you got to look at it objectively. Look at the man resume. The man fought Lomachenko. The man that fought Prograis. Now he fighting Norman Jr. He done fought JoJo Diaz. We talking about the JoJo that beat Kevin Farmer. That JoJo Diaz. We ain't talking about JoJo right now. JoJo
Right.
Diaz. He's
he went
Lawrence.
overseas and beat Cambosos and then defended
Cambosa.
against Cambosos.
Yeah, Cambosa. The Cambosa that beat Teofimo Lopez. Everybody wants to say, oh
Right.
man, look at Cambosa. He got beat by his shit.
What
We talking
about what about your boy
about
Tio? Is he a Hall of Famer? Tio Lopez, Filmo Lopez,
Yeah,
Teofimo.
for sure. If we're gonna give it to Devin, we got to give it to Tia because Tio was the first one to dethrone Loma when Loma was unified. Tio went through
Well,
an IBF eliminator
that's
with
what. Okay, he got Tio, and then he got Josh Taylor.
yeah.
So he got Josh Taylor. Yeah, I guess Tio going, man. I think he going. I think
Yeah, that's why
Tio
he's trying to get
Lopez.
that boost fight. He was trying to get another championship in a third weight class. That adds to the resume. When you do things like that, getting multiple titles in different weight classes, that's what put you in that Hall of Fame stratosphere. That's the problem with Tank. And Tank has won belts in a couple of weight classes. One of them was like a regular belt. Another one, you got a belt at 135. But it was kind of like Haney Lift, and you got the belt, that type of stuff.
No,
You ain't really
he wasn't
nobody.
undisputed, but he beat Josh Taylor, who was undisputed. Um,
Yeah.
that one time he got the name on his resume. So I'm trying to figure out who is going to be, go to the Hall of Fame. And I
Boots
think
has a
those two.
chance.
Well,
He got the
Boots
talent. He got
got
the talent.
right now he got the talent, but
He
the
got the talent,
potential,
yeah.
but he ain't done nothing yet. So, I'm just talking about who could go to the Hall of Fame if their careers ended like right now. You know what I'm saying? And you don't have too many guys. You don't have too many guys. Don't even.
Sean Porter is borderline. He borderline. I don't think he's gonna get on first
Well,
try, but he
well, he's
borderline.
done. He's already done. Sean Porter. I don't know. That's a good. He won the WBC. He never unified. So let me
He
see.
won it twice, but he never unified. He won it twice. He got some great names on his resume. He ain't never really just got dominated. Even in the Crawford fight, he was ahead before he got caught.
Yeah.
So he ain't never just got whooped
No,
like
I'm
God.
not saying that he ain't a bad boy, but is he Hall of Fame material though?
I
Does he
think
meet the
so.
criteria? You
He
think
He
would have
so?
beat
gave anybody
Alexander.
hell.
They beat Alexander. He beat Danny Garcia. He beat Paulie Malignaggi. He got some good wins on his
He
resume.
beat he beat he
Did you?
beat
You did
Ugas.
not say Paulo Malignaggi. You did not say that.
Paulie Malignaggi, multi-division world champion. He feather fisted now. Don't get me wrong, but the man got titles in a couple of weight classes. I think 140 and 147. I think maybe 135 too. So
I
Paulie
mean,
beat with
I
Diaz.
know who he
Got a
is,
belt
but
overseas and got a belt at 147.
And remember,
So,
Porter beat Ugas. I thought Ugas won the fight, but he beat Ugas too.
oh yeah, he beat him over there in Carson, California, that soccer stadium. Yeah, he did. That was a
Hmm
close fight. I just thought Ugas won. Ugas
I
was,
thought Ugas won that fight too.
he kind of out
yeah,
big boy. Kind of out big
he
boy.
knocked him down. He knocked Sean down and shit. And they ain't even count the damn knockdown. I was like,
He
man,
kind of
this
out
shit
big
is crazy.
boy in that fight too. He had Porter out there trying to box. He out big boy Porter in that fight, really. So it was a close fight, but Porter got that Spence fight right after, so they was kind of setting the stage. Ugas needs to really make it more clear than what he did. He didn't
Man,
do it.
who was on Sean
Porter,
ass, bro? That fight, he was on his Sean ass, bro.
Do y'all think Kell Brook is a Hall of Famer?
nah,
Kill,
nah.
Kill Brook. No, man.
Yeah, Brook coming back
Man,
too, though. He coming back. He got a fight coming back. I just got announced a couple of days ago. I said, "Oh, Kelly Kell
no,
coming back, huh?" He fighting over there in Dubai somewhere in the Middle East. I think he got a fight coming up in I think first quarter next year. But no, he's not a Hall. He beat Sean Porter. Is probably his best win. He beat Amir Khan, but both of them were shot fighters. Amir Khan was more shot than he was. He also
yeah,
beat
he's a little short. He's just a little short.
yeah, because he didn't
He's a
fight none.
little short.
He never fought Thurman or the guy that had belts at the time. Mayweather had a belt. He ain't never fight none of them guys. When he was IBF champion, he didn't fight Thurman, Andy Garcia, Mayweather. He never fought none of them guys. He beat Sean Porter. Then he went back overseas to kind of protect that belt. He ain't like he said, okay, I got Porter. Let me get them other sharks at 147. He didn't do that. He went
Yeah,
on
he
back
was
to be.
damaged, man. He took so much damage against Triple G and Spence back to back. His body just was messed up after that.
Oh, he fought some good fights, man. He just, he didn't come out victorious. Um, but he's just a little shy. He's just a little shy. If he would have won that fight with Triple G, I think his name would have been up there. I don't think he would have came back down if he would have beat Triple G. But he gave Triple G hell though for the time that he had him in there. Gave Triple G a good goddamn little scrap, before he got his eye socket busted. You
But
know.
I think this pool and JB Ennis has, I think Ennis has the path to be probably the best undisputed champion we've ever seen, because how the sanctioning bodies are lining up these rankings, he has the chance to go through Abos, Ortiz, Fundora, and possibly Murtav. What's that dude? Murtazaliev, the Russian
Matavia.
guy. If think about if he takes each belt, so similar to what Jamel did. But see, the difference is Ennis will be fighting some young prime fighters in his class. That'd be one of the greatest undisputed runs we've seen. If he can get a belt off each of those guys,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's tough right now. It's a tough division right now. And when you go through a tough division, that's your accolades, that's your legacy right there, right? You know, Instead of that's why I'm glad Boots got out of the 147 division because there wasn't really nobody down there. You know what I'm saying? For him, you meet one name down there, then the rest of these guys are just well, I hate to say that about Marius Barrios because he is a decent fighter. You know, he is a pretty decent fighter. You know, but
Nah, man,
he ain't.
Mario's ain't shit, fool.
Yeah, I don't think Mario said. I thought Pacquiao was gonna beat him. Everybody called me crazy. I was on here arguing with a whole lot of people. Oh man, Pacquiao too old. He too old. I said I ain't saying Pacquiao
Wrong
ain't
you
old, but
do,
he ain't
man. Why
that.
y'all gonna do my boy Mario's like that,
Man,
man? Mario's
the way he let Tank move up and whoop his ass like that. I know Tank got power now, but come on,
listen.
man.
Marios was trying to fight that man. He was
I
fighting
was like,
good.
come on, and then get your ass whooped by Keith
Tank is
Thurman.
just he just special, man. The motherfucker explosive and got power. You know what
He
I'm
look like
saying?
Herman
Yeah,
Monk. Like he look like Herman Monk got that stomach fight.
yeah.
Or Thurman.
I'm not. I ain't high. I've never been high on Barrios like that, man.
Man, Barrios a solid fighter, man. He just ain't no special effects. I don't know how the hell he a champion at 147, but you know,
You
it's a
see the
weak
shot
division.
Hoopers. The shot Hoopers. Hoopers was way shot, way gone. He beat him.
I can see Brian Norman Jr. beating his ass. I can see him getting his ass
Oh
beat by that.
yeah, that's a
Yeah,
mismatch right there.
yeah, I can see that. I can see that'd be a good fight. Mars Barrios and him. Um, you know, Ryan is gonna sneak himself into getting another belt somehow, some way. You know, if he fight Marius, that'll be a good scrap. You know what I'm saying, for him to get a belt. Um, and then we could see that if Devin beats Brian Norman Jr., then we could see Dev and Ryan as champions. You know what I'm saying, fighting. You know what I'm saying, each other for the cleanup. You know what I'm saying, for what happened in the fight between them. You know, they'll be, they could unify. You know, that'll be a good fight. That would be a good fight. You know.
Man, I just think Devin, man, this is a make or break fight for both of those guys. For both of those guys.
Well, I mean, look at the hype, look at the energy, man, around the fight, man. It's just tremendous. You know what I'm saying? The build up is crazy. Um, for small guys, and you know what, 147 division always been a glamour division, but these guys are fitting right in for them not to be, world beaters, or for them not to be big names, you know what I'm saying, with big cachet. Man, they doing a wonderful job, man, with the rivalry that they have. I mean, they doing a wonderful promotion, man, because, you know, to outshine the big boys, you know what I'm saying? The David Benavidez, Anthony Yard to outshine them because of the storyline behind this fight is crazy. It's crazy work. It's crazy work. You know what I'm saying? But that's what's happening. People want to see these two fights. But
Another
I ain't.
slept on fight on that card, that Abdullah Mason Sam Nose can fight. I don't know if people watch this come up as amateurs. That motherfucker Sam Nose got some hands.
We've been hearing about
And
it.
he got some power.
Sam Noakes is starting to be known, even though a lot of people are not familiar with who he is. But because of Abdullah Mason getting dropped a couple of times, people are worried that saying he might get caught by Sam Noakes. But this gonna let us know where Abdullah Mason is at, because it don't make sense if he can't get past Noakes, but just to go fight Andy Cruz and get his ass beat up. You know what I'm saying? It's just not gonna make sense. So it's gonna be a good experience fight for Abdullah Mason. It's gonna be a good experience for him. A good learning, a good educational fight. Somebody got background noise in the background. So it's gonna be a good educational fight for him, because he do still making good mistakes out there, but he'll learn. He'll get tired of getting whacked and knocked down. He said, if I was secure coach, I would turn him. Excuse me. I would turn him into a strong counterpuncher. He said he look like fluff, not sturdy enough to make his opponents respect his power. Well, I don't think Shakur care about that. He just want to box to a win. He don't really care how ugly the shit is. That's his problem. That's why he's never going to be a pay-per-view star. Um, because his fight style is just terrible for pay-per-view. The structure of pay-per-view, it's not exciting for the fans. He's just a pure boxer. He don't care about that. So as long as he keep that mentality, he will beat a lot of guys. You know.
Which is why I never thought fighters was scared of Shakur. I just think fighters, they know they can't outbox him
Right.
deep down, so they don't
Right.
take those. I don't think it's so much they're scared of him. It's just yeah, I don't have the skills to outbox, because that's the fight you're gonna get. You're gonna get a boxing fight with Shakur, and they know deep down they just can't do it, so they don't take the fight.
I'm gonna tell you. I like how Josh Kelly. I like Josh Kelly's style. I like his fast hands. You know what I'm saying? He's just so athletically gifted. But you know, I just see the talent in some of these fighters, man. They just don't know how to cultivate it and expound upon the skills that they have. They either have the wrong coaches, or they just don't have the boxing IQ. I like Josh Kelly, man. I think he could. I think if he used the right game plan, he could beat a lot of guys at 154, man. It's just that shit.
I don't
I
think he
don't
can
know.
beat Bakaram though in this next fight, man. That
Me
that
neither.
motherfucker punched too
Me,
hard.
well, it ain't that. It's just that Josh ain't that kind of. He don't have that kind of boxing IQ. You know, he's athletically gifted. You know what I'm saying? Fastest hands, man. It's just he's just gonna get in a predictable pattern. He's gonna start getting beat the hell up because he got knocked out by David Avanesian, man.
I
It's
mean,
like
it's similar to that Baturbia. You remind me of Baturbia a little bit. This Bakaram, like, remember when Baturbia fought? Derek James was training him for that fight. The brother, I think that was at 75. What's his name? And Derek James was training him for that fight.
Marcus
oh, you
Brown.
talking?
Yeah, Marcus Brown. Remember that fight? Marcus Brown was doing all that boxing shit for the first couple
Oh, you talking
rounds.
about versus Baturbiev? Yeah,
Baturbiev, yeah, it's gonna go just like that. That power's
yeah,
different,
yeah.
man.
Well, Marcus was doing good in that
He
fight,
was
man.
doing good. Yeah, he was
He
doing good.
just
I
got
could see
caught with
Josh
them
Kelly
bricks.
doing good.
He just
Headbutting,
got
they pissed off better. He better be. That was his ass after that. Better be. Said, oh, hell no. You can headbutt, I'm bleeding. I got to stop you, man. I got to get you up out of there. I don't want them to stop this fight on cuts after round 6, and you get the decision. So he went in there and beat the hell out of Marcus Brown. Kind of like
Man,
Hagler. Hagler got cut. He said, I got to get you up out of here. They're going to try to take my belt. You can hit me with a punch. They're going to say it's a punch. Oh, this bleed? No, no. But, yeah, that's what it was. He got mad because he got headbutted. He thought it was a, cause Marcus Brown kind of known the head, but he did that with, what that boy used to fight with Mayweather Promotion. He got the cruiserweight title now, Badu Jack. He messed up Badu Jack with them
oh
headbutts. He like,
yeah,
hold
I
on.
remember that.
Oh
Yeah,
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 yeah.
Badu Jack. He had that damn blood spurting every damn well. I'm like, damn.
Yeah, them
I'm like
headbutts.
that.
But Marcus Brown lead with his head when he be fighting. Oh, so he lead with his head. So I think he pissed off. Better be after that head, but better be what the hell out there, boy. Looking like he
yeah,
stole
man.
something.
Cool. I think it's gonna go that same way with Josh Kelly and Bachram, man. I just think Bachram gonna break his ass down
Yeah,
over the fight,
you're
man.
probably right. You know what I'm saying? It's just that Josh Kelly, he don't really believe in and stuff like that. He just don't he just don't have that extra gear that's needed, you know what I'm saying, to get the guys up out of there. You know what I'm saying? He just don't have that extra gear, to turn up, you know what I'm saying, to take it to the championship level. And you can see that in a lot of fighters. They got good enough talent to stay in there a little bit, but like Caleb Plant, for instance. You know what I'm saying? He got all the skills and talent in the world. He just got got stamina issues. He
You
can't
know,
keep it up for 12 rounds. He just won't be able to do it. What you say,
that fight.
JB?
They had a purse being scheduled for the 21st. He got pushed back to the 28th. The problem with those two fighters, they don't have major promoters. Bacham, he's with main events. Remember Kathy Duva? She runs
Yeah,
main events. They don't have a TV deal. Same with Josh Kelly. He with I forgot Wasserman. He with Wasserman. He's a known.
yeah, I just saw that
He
this
don't have no
morning. Yeah,
yeah, you don't have no TV deal either. So that's the problem. They don't have no. Neither fighter has a major platform to showcase their fighter on. That's the problem. That's
yeah.
why their fight is done. It's getting pushed back, and they hoping somebody put up the money. Maybe PBC, maybe they put it on the Pacquiao in the card. I don't know what they're gonna do, but that's the main reason why Barkham having a hard time getting fight. He don't have a major promoter pushing him. He's with main events, and Josh Kelly ain't got no major promoter either. So, and both of those guys are ordered to fight each other. So if they don't come to agreement by the 28th, then Josh Kelly's gonna get dropped from the rankings, and Bachman gonna get stripped of his belt. So they want to come with some kind of deal. They need to call Turkey and tell Turkey to put him on. Maybe put him on that Shakur Teofimo fight if that fight is with Turkey. I don't know where that fight's gonna be at. That's why that fight's getting held up as well. They don't have a platform for that fight. They trying to get Netflix to put the fight on. They trying to get Turkey to zone. So they haven't been able to secure a platform to showcase that fight. Cause both fighters gonna want the type of money for that fight to be required to be on pay-per-view. You know, Shakur gonna want to get paid, Teofimo gonna want to get paid. So you got to put that fight on pay-per-view. But who's gonna put it on pay-per-view? That's why that fight's getting held up. People are like, why the fight ain't getting out? That's the reason. So Bachman and Josh Kelly, hopefully it gets done. Cause I want to see Bachman fight a different style. He's been in there with Tim Tszyu. Look good against Tim Tszyu. I agree with what you said. He fights just like Beterbiev. His style is very similar to Beterbiev. And he's a good fighter, but I want to see him in there with a boxer like Josh Kelly and see if he's able to dominate him. I think he can. I don't want to give him his flaws just off of one fight. But I do like to see him. I would like to see that fight. You got to see if it gets done. Because it's right now it's in limbo.
Man, JB, what you think about Matchroom getting the rights for that Andy Cruz Murtazaliev fight, man?
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, they won. I was thinking about that. Murtazaliev is another guy, top rank. They ain't got no TV deal. You know, Mikael Mayer, she got a fight coming up Thursday. This Thursday, the day before Halloween. That fight gonna be on Top Rank Free Pass channel. I was trying to Google it because I want to check her out. But I couldn't even get it. I'm gonna try to get it later on today. See if I can get that channel. I don't know if it's an app or I was trying to get that channel. I couldn't even get it. But right now, Top Rank don't have a platform to showcase their fights on either. But that's why I was like, I know Eddie Hearn ain't gonna lose this first bid. He's been losing a lot of first bids here recently. He lost a lot of first bids. But I said he ain't gonna lose this one. He's able to secure that fight. And that fight's gonna be on Matchroom. I don't know when it's gonna be. Maybe it's gonna be at the end of this year. Maybe it's gonna be at the beginning of next year. Probably the beginning of next year. I think pretty much all the fights that's gonna get done this year are pretty much already set for the most part. So it's gonna be a good fight. It's gonna be interesting to see if it's a main event fight or it's gonna be on somebody's undercard. I would probably think it's gonna be on somebody's undercard.
It says Matchroom submitted $88,000 significantly, outbidding Top Red $550,000. You know, for the first bid. So, damn.
I'm excited for that pool because that's going to set up Shakur Stevenson and Andy Cruz. It's no other fight at 35 because Abdullah, you know, he's too green. And you know Andy Cruz is going right for Shakur, man. Andy Cruz don't seem like the guy to duck no smoke, especially if there's a unification bout on the line. And, you know, they had their little back and forth, last year. So I think Cruz is going to test the waters of Shakur if he can get past Murtazaliev.
So Montale, he's getting 65% of the winnings, you know.
Yeah, I think it's 85-15. I think it's 85-15 because Chuck Kelly not even ranked number one. He's ranked number 3. The first 2 spots are vacant. So if it ain't the number 1 guy, it's 85-15. Now if he'd have been the number 1 guy, like you said, it'd been 65-35. So it's just Josh Kelly ain't really gonna get a lot of money, and there ain't nobody really.
I thought that was under the IBF though. I thought that was how the IBF did it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
IBF. Mm-hmm.
Yes, 85-15 because Josh Kelly's not ranked number 1. He's ranked number 3. But the first, like I say, number 1 and number 2 is vacant. So when it's the order to play the guy that's the number 3 guy, it's 85-15. So like I said, they just gotta get somebody to put the fight on. It's not right now. Nobody willing to put the fight on. Maybe Turkey will come through for him, or maybe main event. They didn't work with somebody.
If you don't fight this dude, he got to fight a volunteer. He's got to fight a man. He got to fight somebody before December. Montale. He's got to fight somebody, or they're gonna take the belt from his ass. So.
He didn't tell main event, man. Y'all got to put the money up. Y'all done made a lot of money. Me taking all that step aside money, not fighting Charlo, step aside money. That's how they been keeping their business open, I guess. And they got a little money in his last fight against Tim Tszyu. That was a PBC promoted card. So they need to get on. You need to tell main event, get on the phone with the PBC and see if they can put him on that Pacquiao on the card. They put that fight on the Pacquiao on the card, January 24th. It's too late for the December 6th card. That card already set. They ain't gonna be able to get on that card. So maybe Turkey come through for him, but Turkey ain't. I don't know if Turkey gonna put it. Turkey got that card on November 22nd. He ain't. I don't think he's gonna put on no more fights the rest of this year. I think his next card gonna be in February. He already talking about if Haney and Benavidez win, he want to put them on that February card. Yeah, I don't think Turkey's gonna put on another major card after the November 22nd card. I don't think. I don't see nothing he's doing. So we'll see if he. I don't think so though. So
You see, he's setting up 160 right now. Janabek unifying. He fights Lara, and then I
And
think
then they're gonna
Adamas is
bring
the last
Crawford.
champion. And they're gonna try to
Then
bring
he gonna
yeah,
Crawford in
bring.
the loop.
Then he gonna bring
that's on the
Crawford
PBC
in.
card.
Yeah, I can
Yeah,
see that
that Janet
happening.
Marlin, that's on the PBC card. That's on that Roach Pitbull card. That's a PBC card.
Mm-hmm.
That fight on.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
PBC they working with the Turk too. You know what I'm saying? So they
yeah,
working with the Turk.
they sending some of their fighters over there to fight. Benavidez is over there fighting with Turkey. He's a PBC fighter. But that December 6th card, that's a PBC Amazon Prime promoted card. That's gonna be exclusive
Mm.
to PBC.
So
Now,
who
they got
y'all
a
got
couple of
in
top.
the Osheki Foster and what's his name,
Fulton,
man? Stephen Fulton.
Stephen,
Yeah. Who y'all
Jeff
got in that?
Fulton. Shit, I don't know. I think Foster, what I'm saying, that's his weight class. So, Fulton coming up, I think Fulton is the more. I don't know. Because I can't sleep on Foster's skill, man. Foster got a lot of skill, bro. And I seen an interview where he was talking about how he beat Shakur Stevenson ass in sparring. So they were actually, fighting that motherfucker. And he was saying that Stevenson tried to get his get back, but it was the same thing. So if he got that kind of skill, I don't think Fulton gonna be able to take him, man. I don't. You know what I'm saying? I don't think Fulton gonna be able to move up and take him like that. Even though, Fulton Steph is a dog, man. Cool boy Steph is a dog, but you know what I'm saying? That's Fulton's division in my opinion. You know. Fulton is a dog too, bro. So I think Fulton gonna take that one. Not Fulton, but Oshaki Foster, the black man with the Irish name. You know.
Yeah, I'm pulling for Shocky, man, because he's from Texas, he's from Austin, he's from my neck of the woods. I'm from Houston. I'm pulling for him, but just go ask me who I really think gonna win the fight. I think Fortune gonna win. I think both guys are very skilled fighters. Both guys are technically sound, but I just think that Fortune is just a slight level above Foster from what I've seen them two fight. You look at what Foster with Fortune did against Inoue. It's obvious to me he was weight drained in that fight. He fought that fight. He got paid well too, so I know why he took that fight. But he probably should have moved up before that fight. But he had to take that fight. That was a big money fight, fighting him over there in Japan. So he took that fight and got knocked out. Not to say he wouldn't have beat the other way if he wasn't weight trained, but he got beat bad in that fight. He wasn't even competitive in that fight. So he was weight trained. I don't think he was at his best. So right after that fight, he moved up and got a belt. Now he moving up once again. And when you look at the face to face, he looked bigger than he looked bigger than Foster. Actually, he looked bigger than Foster. Kind of remind me of when Haney moved up to fight Prograde. They had a little face off. I was like, damn, Haney is bigger than Prograde. He looked bigger than Norman, really. Now I think about it, he looked bigger than Norman when they was face to face. So I don't think that moving up in the weight class gonna be a big challenge for Fulton. I think he's gonna beat him, but I think it's gonna be a good fight, man. But that's just what I seen Foster when he fought Conseco. Conseco gave him problems. He got robbed in the first fight, but even the second fight, man, a lot of people thought Conseco won that second fight, but it was because of what happened in the first fight. They weren't gonna give him no close decision. They think Coach was gonna go to Foster. He was able to win the rematch, but from what I seen in that Conseco fight, what I seen in a lot of his fights, he's a good fighter. He's like a B plus fighter, but I think Fulton is an A fighter. I think he's a slight level ahead of him, but it's a good fight. I just rate Fulton a little bit better. I think he win that fight on the decision. It might be something like 115, 113, or 116, 112. It's gonna be like an 8-4, 7-5 type of fight. I like Fulton though to win. Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Who you like in that fight? Fulton and Foster.
I probably go Fulton as well. He got a little more in his bag than me, but it's gonna be a good fight. It's gonna be a good
Yeah,
fight. I'm ready for Frank Martin to get back in the mix, man. After he gets through with Francis Bartholomew, I want to see
yeah,
him in a competitive fight at 40. There's a lot of champions there, like a Frank Martin versus Gary Russell. That'd be a banger.
mm-hmm. yeah. That'd be
Or
a banger.
Frank Martin and Richardson Hitchens or something.
Yeah, that's a good fight. Richard History, man, he beat Cambosa. He chilling and stuff. He calling out Teofimo Lopez trying to do face off with Teofimo. Teofimo finna fight Shakur. Unless that fight fall off by the wayside, then you might be playing B. But he's trying to make something happen with Teo. But that is it's a bigger money fight for Teo fighting Shakur than Hitchison.
He
So
need to go
Hitchison,
ahead and fight Gary Anton right there, man. That's a unification fight.
yeah, he should have fought him. You know, Gary Russell called him out, but he don't. You know, I can tell how you be talking about Gary Anton Russell because Gary Anton Russell is kind of amateurs with him, but Gary Anton Russell was kind of on a higher level in the amateurs than Richard History was. You kind of tell when you talk about Gary Anton Russell when he was at the gym, he watching him spar and they was in the amateurs together. You would tell that Antoine was higher level than he was. And sometimes guys are late boomers. Not to say that it don't matter now, but he don't seem to be anxious to fight Antoine, because he's talking about he don't have a high profile, he ain't on social media and all that. What you worried about that for? That's a unification.
That's a
Get the fight.
unification, right?
Oh well, you get 2 belts, then you gonna be able to call all the shots. You ain't gonna be on nobody else's undercard if you got 2 belts. So he should have took that fight, but now Gary Antoine Russell, he's fighting on the Jake Paul Davis undercard. He's fighting that
Boy, that
Hirioki.
Japanese fighter, man, he no joke.
Yeah, that's gonna be a tough fight. People talking about, people don't know about that guy. That's gonna be a
Yeah, they
tough
don't
fight
know
for him.
about that. That motherfucker got some power, boy, and some speed. He could fight.
That's the best fight on that card. You know, really,
Yeah,
that's why that's the best fight on that card. Really, you know, I'm looking forward to that fight. So,
yeah. I'm ready for them to
Man,
start unifying at 40, man. They got to start
just
unifying those belts.
some of the
yeah. Hello.
Yeah,
Yeah, I agree with you though. They got to start unifying them belts. Everybody got a belt, but they Teofimo talking about
I,
fight Shakur, so
I
unifying that,
don't
and Sabril got to fight. He got to
man,
fight that guy Dawson
they
Smith.
hmm
ain't man. It's
You
like
know,
shit. They
they in and out, fool. Yeah, like you said, none of the champions are fighting each other. Everybody got 140 pounds, they really ain't no glamour division. Not a lot of the guys that was at 140 and going up to 147. It's not a real glamour division, but there's some good fighters there. So they should mix it up, but it ain't happening. You know, Gary Antoine Russell fighting is mandatory. Teofimo Lopez look like he's gonna fight Shakur. Sabril Matthias, he's fighting Dawson Smith, but that fight's not gonna be on that November 22nd card. It's not gonna. It's gonna probably be. Maybe they might put it on another card. I don't think it's gonna be on it though. It was supposed to be on that card, but I don't think it's gonna be on that card from what I saw last time I was checking on it. But so like you said, none of the champions are fighting each other. So they should mix it up and then get one undisputed. Whoever's undisputed, then they can make a case to move up to fight the champion at 147. You can clear it out 140, but just taking on. That's what's going on around. Just leaving work, but it's kind of quiet in boxing right now. We don't have a lot of fights coming up. I think the next significant fight that's coming up is gonna be November 8th. We got Victor Ortiz, Virgil Ortiz Jr. taking on Erickson Lubin, and we got Floyd Schofield Jr. taking on JoJo Diaz. So that's the next significant fight coming up. So that's gonna be a decent card. And then after that, it's gonna get rolling. Once we get to that November 8th fight, we're gonna get the rolling in boxing. We're gonna have some fights coming up every week pretty much after that. You got that fight next week. In 6 days, you got Jake Paul versus Tank Davis. That card's gonna be November 14th, 6 days later. It's gonna be on a Friday night. You got Gary Antoine Russell taking on Hirioki. That's the best fight on that card, actually. You got Alicia Baumgartner, she fight. The girl she fight, I don't know too much about her, but she's highly rated, so hopefully that'll be a good fight. Baumgartner needs to make a statement in that fight, and hopefully that'll lead to a bigger and better fight in the next fight against a bigger name. And then after that, the next day you got Conor Benn versus Chris Eubanks Jr. That card is not that great, but it's solid. It's all right. It's better than the
Y'all
Fabio
want to see
boy.
that again? Y'all
Huh?
want to see that shit again? I mean, it was an all right fight. Don't get me wrong, but as far as moving the scale, you know what I'm saying? Nah, it's not an important fight. Um, it was okay. I don't want to see that fight again though. You know, I want to see him
That
move
was a
off.
great fight though. It was like a fight of the year
It
type
was
of cat.
good. Oh, I don't know about all that. It was good though. You know what I'm saying? I just I don't know. I'm kind of past it. You know what I'm saying? First, when they first came up with it, I wanted to see it, and I was just like, I'm just kind of over it now. You know what I'm saying? I'm just kind of over them too. And it's like, you know, he lost the fight, so he could try to get Ben. You think Ben will win the second fight?
Yeah, I think Chris Eubanks just a little bit too big, a little bit too skilled for Conor Ben to beat him. I thought Conor Ben might have won that first fight. A lot of people talked about that fight was some kind of, no doubt about win for Chris Eubanks Jr. I thought that fight was actually close compared to, man. Conor Ben, he hurt Chris Eubanks Jr. multiple times. Chris Eubanks probably landed more punches overall, but the more damaging shots were landed by Conor Ben. You watch that fight, so it was a case that Conor Ben could have won that fight. It was one of them fights that it was like 7-5 either way, or maybe 6-6. But I think they had that fight like a unanimous decision. I think they had it like 8-4 and pretty much a clear win by Chris Eubanks Jr. I didn't see
I
that
mean,
fight.
I saw the fight. I thought Eubanks had he was just a more slicker fighter and he was just smarter. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, now Ben got some good shots in, but I thought Eubanks, you know what I'm saying, he just kind of out hustled him and he was a slicker fighter in that. You know what I'm saying? Ben is just kind of a, you know, he's kind of a two-dimensional fighter. You know what I'm saying? He's no special effects, got power, speed. That's about it. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, it was just it was not nothing I got to see again. You know, I want to see him go off to fight some other fights and see where he at. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of looking at them too. I don't like the way I just don't like. I don't know. I just don't like British boxing. I really don't.
I hear you.
I
I
don't
ain't no
like
fan.
the way.
I was, when that first fight was announced, I wasn't even excited about that fight. But when it got to the week of the fight, I started getting more talk about the fight. And then when the fight came on, I watched it. I was like, "This is a great fight. This is a great. Yeah, it ended up being better than what I was anticipating it was. It was a, some people say it might not have been a fight of the year candidate type of fight, but it was a lot of action in that fight. It was a good fight. So I ain't mad at the rematch, and it's gonna be a loaded weekend because you got Tank and Jake Paul on the 14th, and you got Conor Ben and Chris Eubanks Jr. on the 15th. So you gonna have fights on back-to-back days, one at night, one on Saturday afternoon. So I ain't mad at it. I'll take that. But like I said, I think once Conor Ben get through with this fight, he go back down to 147. He gonna fight that guy Crocker, the IBF welterweight champion. Eddie Hearn can set him up to fight for a belt in this next fight, win, lose, or draw. He's gonna set him up to get a belt at 147. Now that he's got boots out at 147, now he's gonna try to for Conor Ben to kind of take over 147 if he can. So that's what's gonna happen as far as Conor Ben go. I think Chris Eubanks Jr. if he wins, he'll be in the Canelo Alvarez state. Canelo Alvarez fight. Maybe they get Canelo to come over to the UK and make that fight happen there. So it's just one of those fights it's a fight for the UK fans. Their fathers were very popular over there in the UK, so it's one of them fights that's don't get the fans excited over there in the UK. But like I said, here in the United States, so fans really don't care about it. They can take it or leave it. But I'm gonna check it out. I'm a boxing fan, and I'm gonna watch it. I think the undercard is solid too, from what I remember. It's not a great undercard, but it's a solid undercard too. So I'm gonna check it out. But I'm just saying, as far as boxing goes, boxing is kind of in a place right now where there ain't too much going on. So once we get to November 8th, we'll have some action. We got Lubin and Ortiz Jr., and then we'll have some fights in consecutive weeks. The next week, we got 2 fights going on, Tank and Jake, and we got Conor and Eubanks. And a week after that, we got that November 22nd card, which we all been excited about since they announced with Norman Jr. and Devin Haney. You got Benavidez and Yard. You got my boy who's my boy, 115 pounds, Spanish guy. I can't remember his name right now. He's fighting Puma Martinez. That's gonna be a great fight. And then you got Sam Noakes versus Abdullah Mason. That's gonna open up the card. So that's gonna be a loaded card. So once we get to
Hey,
November, we're gonna
Monday. My internet shutting down on me, man. So I'm gonna have to come back on probably tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I done ran out of hotspot or something. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I can't even get it back stable. I keep popping in and out and everything. So, so we'll probably come back tomorrow early. You know what I'm saying? I'm off like for 4 days straight. So we're gonna be coming back every day. You know what I'm saying? To holler, talk about this boxing stuff and you know what I'm saying? It's just I don't know why my hotspot out, but you know what I'm saying? It's like that's why I'm popping in and out and stuff. So, right now it done got so damn bad that, I gotta go see about it and everything. But we'll be back on tomorrow. I'll see if I can go take care of this, see what's happening and everything. But I think say what now?
Okay, oh yeah, okay, that's cool. I understand. Yeah, go take care of that. And
Yes,
be on tomorrow. I try to jump on with you, and I'll be working and stuff. And try to jump on with you. I just leaving work right now. So you on in the morning? I'll probably jump on with you once I jump in the car and stuff. Try to
okay.
holler at you. We talking.
So we'll be back on in the morning. We'll try to make a day of it and everything and talk about everything that's going on. It's like my dang internet, I've been having the worst luck with this kind of stuff. So, but I get it taken care of. And thanks to everybody for coming through. And what I'm saying, we'll be back tomorrow, man, probably about 8 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? We'll try to make a day of it, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even interested in that damn Joseph Parker fight, but you know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people gonna watch it, so you know, but I'll
The
see
one to
you
go
guys
get Usyk.
tomorrow.
That's the only thing that's good about it. The one to go get Usyk. Usyk gonna be at the fight, and the one of that fight gonna fight Usyk in the first quarter of 2026. So that's the only thing that's really, you be like, okay, we gonna at least get the winner of this fight gonna fight Usyk next, the number one guy in heavyweight. So
Yeah,
that's the only
well,
thing that's like,
it's an English fight, you know what I'm saying? Unless they start building up some fighters again, you know what I'm saying? I'd be interested, but right now I'm just on the American side, on the and some of the Turk stuff. So,
yeah,
I'll see you
yeah.
guys tomorrow. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 8 o'clock, so we'll make a whole day of it, y'all. Peace out. I gotta get this internet thing under control. Peace
All
out,
right,
y'all.
peace.
Mm.